FM at HD Boston 98.5, the Sports Hub.
This is Boston Bruins hockey, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V, available at your local New England Honda dealers.
Who they are! Scores for the Boston Bruins!
The Bruins are brought to you by VA New England, Granite City Electric GCE Nitrate, Valvoline Instant Oil Change, Coors Banquet, your New England Ford dealers, Live Nation, Peerless Boilers, Safety Insurance, and by Shaw's and Star Market.
2 seconds, 1 second, it's over! The Bruins have won the Stanley Cup!
And by Town Fair Tire, TD Bank, your Boston area Nissan dealers, Charles D. Sheehy, Ticketmaster, Dairy Queen, Bosch Tools, Hub International New England, McGovern Auto Group, Timberline Construction, the Peterson School, your Eastern Region Lexus dealers, and by DraftKings Sportsbook.
After 39 long years, the Cup is back home. The Bruins are 2011 Stanley Cup champions.
Now, here's Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers.
From Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles, it's Boston Bruins hockey as tonight the Bruins come to L.A. in pursuit of their first win on this road trip, taking on the playoff-bound L.A. Kings. Great to have you with us alongside Bob Beers. I'm Ryan Johnston. Tonight's storylines brought to you by your Boston area Chevrolet dealers. Get a closer look at Chevy's award-winning lineup at your New England Chevy dealer. Find exciting offers on the powerful Silverado and feature-packed all-new Equinox. Last night in San Jose, Bruins and Sharks tied throughout the third period until San Jose scored to take the lead with just over 3 minutes to go on a play that looked at first like it may have been offside. Bruins did not challenge, ended up giving up an empty net goal and falling the game 3-1. After the game, Coach Joe Sacco explained why he did not challenge what turned out to be the game-winning goal.
Yeah, there was some discussion when we looked at it with our crew. We just decided the player that was entering the zone with the puck didn't have possession of it as soon as he crossed the blue line. Therefore, he allowed his teammate the ability to tag up there.
Where do you want to start with this?
Well, you can start about the decision or you can start about the rule in general, because
I'll start with the rule in general. And the interpretation of the rule, I think, is foolish. It's not from Joe Sacco's standpoint.
Right.
I'm saying from the league's standpoint. Anybody that's played the game knows that the man entering the zone has possession of the puck.
whether his stick is touching the puck or not.
The fact that he actually has to be touching the puck is I think, foolish. Now, if you look over your shoulder and check to see if a guy's coming out of the zone and you just leave the puck alone, that I can get behind. But he's stick handling the puck into the zone. That's possession. He's not looking to see where his teammate is. He's not entering the zone intentionally, thinking that his teammate's out, reskates the blue line. If you've got nobody around you and you're getting to the blue line and you're waiting for that guy to clear and you just take your stick off the puck and let the puck kind of slip away a little bit, I still think that's possession, but at least I can get behind that. But the stick handling part of it, your stick is off the puck for less than a second. And that's what they determined to go with. And they didn't think that they could win it. Now, you had different scenarios, right? So if you challenge and you are unsuccessul in the challenge, you're going to have to kill a penalty. And there was 3.5 minutes to go, 3:25 to go, whatever the exact number was. So you'd have, you won 2 minutes now. Even if you kill the penalty, now you only have a minute and a half, less than a minute and a half, with a 6-on-5 advantage, where you can pull your goaltender and try to get the equalizer. If you win the challenge, well, the goal comes off the board. I think, in my opinion, and I don't know if they go on record and say this, but I think, in my opinion, that they probably, in hindsight, would have challenged and rolled the dice a little bit on that, because I think that there was definitely it was offsides. The guy wasn't out.
There's no question that the guy was in the zone. Yeah.
So I think, in hindsight, they maybe would have challenged. I don't know that for a fact, but I'm looking at it that way. From where I sat, challenge it, because you've got a good chance to win that challenge.
Well, and I agree with you. I think the way that the league is interpreting the rule kind of
wrong.
goes against the spirit of what really is
Completely.
possession.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I don't agree with it. There are times, like I said, we don't have to go kill it, but it's just beat a dead horse. There are times where, I'll let the puck go. No one's around me. I'm just going to let the puck go, and I'm going to wait for that guy to reskate. Then I'm going to touch it again. like I said, I can get behind that a little bit. But when you're stick handling into the zone, no, you have possession.
Yeah.
So
that was the rationale behind the decision last night. As for the rest of last night's game, an evenly matched game, and Sacco thought his team made a good push in the third period.
I think that, it took us a little while to get it going there, but we were on our toes. We were assertive. We made them defend, and that was part of the game plan here tonight. It would have been nice, like I said, to have the ability to put one in and extend the lead, but the guys, I thought that for the most part, especially in the third, we started to take over the game and tilt the ice.
Well, look, they're having trouble scoring. There's no, that's not a secret. The goal that they did score last night was kind of a gift. I mean, it was a good forecheck by Kepke, don't get me wrong, but it was a mistake by the goal by Georgiev, and it ends up in the back of the net with Casey Middlestat scoring. You're going to see some different lines here today for the Bruins. They're looking for solutions, and I mean, just look at the percentage of goals that David Pasternak's out on the ice for, and then the rest of the team. There's a huge discrepancy there in those numbers. So they're looking for some answers up front. You lose some good players. You're without a couple guys on the back end who can help you in that department as well. And they're looking for some scoring. So, that's why Lysell is in there again here today. And, well, they only have 12 forwards, but and you're looking for some different combinations up front. They just went through the line rushes here a few minutes ago. It does look like they will see some different combinations today that maybe we've seen in the last little while here.
Yeah, the biggest one, David Pasternak's line with Geekie and Zacha has been basically carrying the team offensively. Pasternak's going to be playing, it looks like, with Casey Middlestat and Husnudinov tonight, and Lysell's going to take what normally is Pasternak's slot on that line with Zacha and Geekie. So interesting to see how that impacts things tonight. Last night, just one goal on 23 shots, as you said, the one goal coming off a San Jose miscue.
Well, some of it they haven't been shooting either. I mean, at least they had 20-something shots last night. There's been games where they've had a lot of trouble generating any type of offense. And that's why we talked about it last game. You're not a pretty team entering the zone, making plays. You're not a rush team. So you got to manufacture your offense. And if you got to put pucks on net from bad angles and crash the net, then certainly, you need to do a lot more of that.
Yeah, and Sacco said last night after the game, they just didn't take advantage of their scoring opportunity.
Yeah, I thought we had a number of opportunities to extend the lead, to make it 2-1 ourselves in the third period. Did a good job of playing behind and creating some offense there, just unable to finish off our opportunities. And, then you get late in the game, 1-1, it's a bounce here, it's a bounce there, and so that's what happens.
No other changes in personnel tonight other than Jeremy Swayman getting the start between the pipes for the Bruins. Coming up here on the pregame show, we'll go around the NHL, including Connor Bedard hitting the 20-goal mark.
Here's Bedard from the slot. Shoots, he scores! That's number 20 on the season for Bedard.
We'll talk with head coach Joe Sacco about tonight's matchup.
You got to find a way to get inside the dots against this team. The puck has to get there, and then bodies have to get there as well. That's the only way you're going to manufacture offense.
And up next, we'll take a look at tonight's opponent, the Los Angeles Kings.
In front, score! Byfield from Fiala. 6-0.
That's all coming up here on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
With features like instant alerts when new listings match your criteria, Apartments.com makes finding a new place, well, less, if I may, laborious.
Don't stop. One more. Keep pushing, honey. Yes!
It's an adorable townhome. And a baby. Oh, yes, my baby. Look where we're gonna live, sweet pea.
That's emotional. Apartments.com, the place to find a place.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Hotels.com knows that planning your book club's annual field trip can get chaotic. Rhea, the romance reader, wants to stay in Prince Charming's castle. Self-improvement Steve needs a hotel gym. Leela and Jeff, the horror fans, ghosted the group chat about budget. And you've read enough true crime to know that murdering them isn't a real option. With the Hotels.com app, invite all your friends to collaborate and find the perfect hotel together. Share properties, vote on your favorites, and book all in one place. Find your perfect somewhere with Hotels.com.
This is the story of the one. As a quality technician in a food processing center, she knows that making the right call is the best way to avoid a recall. That's why she trusts Grainger's world-class supply chain to deliver the high-quality supplies she needs to help keep her production line, her equipment, and her customers happy and healthy. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The only place to hear the game, the Sports Hub.
4 seconds, 3. Kings will clear. David Riddick and the Kings a win on a Saturday afternoon, Kings Day. Here at Crypto.com Arena.
Bruins visiting Los Angeles tonight to take on the Kings, who enter the game in third place in the Pacific Division. They're 2 points behind Edmonton with 2 games in hand, 5 points behind first place Vegas with a game in hand there as well. LA 7-1-1 over their last 9 games and just 4 regulation losses in the last 19. Yesterday, Jim Hiller's team put up 7 goals in a runaway win over Carolina.
Well, we'd like to. I mean, I look at it as all 4 lines for sure. I just saw the stat that everybody got a point. I didn't even recognize that prior. But all 4 lines contributed for sure. And I thought it was really important for Kopi's line to get on the board like they did. And if there was one goal that I thought was the most important goal of the game, was Kuzi's goal at the end of the first.
Yeah, I mean, the Kings are they're playing some good hockey right now, and especially on home ice. They have only lost 3 games in regulation on home ice this season. And that's amazing numbers, really. I mean, they've been dominant here in Los Angeles. 5-on-5 overall this season, they're plus 35. They've only allowed 107 goals against at 5-on-5. Put that in comparison to the Bruins. The Bruins this season are minus 7. So plus 35, 5-on-5 for the Kings, minus 7 for the Bruins. The Kings are a good team. They're legit. Many thought that they would try to add a little bit more at the trade deadline in terms of some offense, maybe adding another scorer. They did not, so they took a little bit of criticism for that, but they're confident. They like the way that they're playing. They feel that they're built for the playoffs. The only thing standing in their way seems to be the Edmonton Oilers, because they've lost to them the last few years. So, is this team ready to take on the Oilers if they play one another in the first round and come out on top? But a lot of people here in Los Angeles really, really confident and optimistic about what this Kings team is able to do.
Yeah, Darcy Kemper will get the starting goal for LA tonight. He's second in the league in goals against, third in the league in save percentage. That's not really the guy you want to face, especially as hot as he's been right now, when you're having trouble scoring as the Bruins are. But Hiller said his team overall throughout the season has tended to elevate their game when it's been really needed.
It gets you. I think the one thing it does for our team, though, and this is an unfortunate observation that I have, is we seem to rise to that level when we're pressed to do it, and that's when we're at our best.
And yesterday, they were at their best. 7-2 win over the Carolina Hurricanes. Tanner Jeannot with a goal and an assist in that win, and every forward who dressed for LA ended up with at least 1 point in that game.
Yeah, I think you'd take that every night if you could. Everyone's kind of chipping in like that. Obviously, it's not going to happen that way, but everyone was putting in the work tonight, and everyone got rewarded, so it's good.
Their scoring is really spread out. I mean, you just look at all the double digits points guys that they have. Their goal scoring, they're not usually going to blow you away with the scoring part of it, but they are really, really tough defensively. Very structured. They're dedicated, stingy inside their own zone. That's a word that Joe Sacco uses a couple times in the interview that we did with him. That's the definition of the Kings in the way that they play. They really protect the middle of the ice. They're a good-sized team, so they're tough to get that inside ice on, and that's something that they talk about the Bruins needing to do today if they're going to have any success here against this Kings team. But they also show that they can put numbers up. And, that game against Carolina had won, 8 in a row going into that one? And the Kings just, said, nope, not in our building. And it was a pretty definitive message sent by Los Angeles.
Well, as the Bruins and Kings continue to get ready for face-off, we'll get a check of the Sports Hub headlines next with Sean Silver. Then we'll go around the NHL here on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
A 6-letter word for an app where you can easily find and book an in-person or virtual appointment with the perfect doctor by searching specialty and insurance and reading real reviews from real patients.
It's ZocDoc, obviously.
Genius. How'd you know that?
How do you think I found an amazing therapist, dentist, and primary care doc?
Can't believe I didn't know this was an option sooner.
You've got options. Download the free ZocDoc app to book today.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now, and the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time to take an adventure with rugged capability and commanding style. Check out the Honda Ridgeline, Pilot, or CR-V. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 3.99% APR on a 2025 Pilot, a 1.99% APR on a 2025 Ridgeline, or a 2.99% APR on a 2025 CR-V.
See dealer for financing details.
Here in America, work is in trouble. We've offshored our manufacturing, sent away good jobs, and lost so much ability to make things. American Giant is a company that's pushing back against this tide. They make high-quality clothing, sweatshirts, jeans, dresses, jackets, and so much more right here in the USA. Visit American-Giant.com and get 20% off your first order when you use code STAPLE20 at checkout. That's 20% off your first order at American-Giant.com. Promo code STAPLE20.
Hey, not to be dramatic, but you should smell this. It smells so good.
Whoa, that's quite the reaction to mixing and matching Gain scents. Let's hear another from Ashley, who mixed Gain products and went...
I'm so excited.
Yes, you are. What about you, Isaiah?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, and Emily summed it up like so.
It is just chef's kiss.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Mix, match, more happy with Gain.
Felger and Naz, afternoons 2 to 6 on the Sports Hub. Sports Hub headlines, presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Celtics winners on the road in Portland. They'll travel to Sacramento, where they'll play tomorrow night in college hoops. In the men's bracket, Duke and Kentucky move on. Florida knocks out defending champion UConn. The Sweet 16 won't be settled until Oregon and Arizona finish up later tonight. In the women's bracket, South Carolina, Duke, Ole Miss, Notre Dame, and Kansas State moving on to the Sweet 16. College hockey tournament. BC is a #1 seed. Bentley will go dancing for the first time in that program's history. And the Red Sox, 9-3 losers to the Twins today. 2 more exhibition games to go before the season opener Thursday in Texas. Christian Campbell has made the team. Lock in your group outing for the Bruins 2025-26 season by placing a $200 deposit and score priority access for your group from entertaining clients, spending time with family and friends, or one of our youth hockey experiences like Future Bruins or Body Armor 3 Minutes of Fame. Experience the action of the Boston Bruins with your group and save big off box office prices. Visit bostonbruins.com/groups to place your deposit today. I'm Sean Silver. Ryan Johnson and Bob Beers go around the NHL coming up on the 98.5 The Sports Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
The South Coast Health Heart and Vascular Program is nationally recognized year after year for providing world-class care. Our heart and vascular team goes above and beyond to deliver the best clinical care and most compassionate service. you receive the time, attention, and communication you need to feel most comfortable. Because at South Coast Health, you are what matters most. We are South Coast Health Heart and Vascular. Visit southcoast.org/heart to learn more.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time to drive smarter with high-tech features and excellent reliability. Check out the Honda Civic, Accord, or HR-V. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 4.99% APR on a 2025 Civic or a 3.99% APR on a 2025 Accord or HR-V.
See dealer for financing details. Exclude Civic Si and Type R.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The home of the Bees, the Sports Hub.
Getting ready for the Bruins and the LA Kings. Let's go around the NHL, starting with the finals from earlier today. Chicago, a 7-4 win over Philadelphia.
Bedard from the slot. Shoots, he scores! Off the face-off win. That's number 20 on the season for Bedard.
Yeah, Bedard it's been kind of an up and down season for him, and I know he's been frustrated at times, Connor Bedard has, with the Chicago Blackhawks, but good to see them get on the board here today. 7-4 winners over the Philadelphia Flyers.
How about the Buffalo Sabres, a 5-3 win in Winnipeg?
Yeah, took a couple shorthanded goals for the Buffalo Sabres here today, but a shocker as the Sabres win 5-3 over the Winnipeg Jets.
Pittsburgh Penguins, Florida Panthers are headed to a shootout right now.
And Schmidt finds the loose puck. It's Losterinen, and the shot score! They tied it! Anton Lundell!
Yeah, I was watching this game downstairs, and they were saying that Florida got outplayed in the first period badly by the Penguins, and then just started to chip away, and finally tie it up in the third period. So shootout now between the Penguins and the Florida Panthers.
Looks like another win coming for St. Louis as the Blues lead the Predators 3-1 late.
Texier trying to center one, settled by Dvorsky. To the middle, across, Thomas. They score! Texier, and Dvorsky will get an assist. His first NHL point.
Yeah, St. Louis coming into today's action 2 points ahead of the Calgary Flames, even though Calgary has a couple games in hand, but St. Louis had won 5 in a row. They're just over a minute away from winning 6 in a row as they have a 3-1 lead over the Nashville Predators late.
End of one in Vegas. They've jumped out to a 3-0 lead over Tampa Bay.
Carlson a couple of steps in. Walking down further. Centerman score! Nick Waugh tips it home on the feed from Carlson. Goals in back-to-back for Waugh, and it's 1-0.
And just down the road, Anaheim and Carolina played a scoreless first period. We'll talk with Joe Sacco coming up next here on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
This is the story of the one. As a quality technician in a food processing center, she knows that making the right call is the best way to avoid a recall. That's why she trusts Grainger's world-class supply chain to deliver the high-quality supplies she needs to help keep her production line, her equipment, and her customers happy and healthy. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time to drive smarter with high-tech features and excellent reliability. Check out the Honda Civic, Accord, or HR-V. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 4.99% APR on a 2025 Civic or a 3.99% APR on a 2025 Accord or HR-V.
See dealer for financing details. Exclude Civic Si and Type R.
American Giant makes great clothing, sweatshirts, jeans, and more right here in the U.S. Visit American-Giant.com and get 20% off your first order with code STAPLE20. That's 20% off your first order at American-Giant.com, code STAPLE20.
Hey, not to be dramatic, but you should smell this. It's smells so good.
Whoa, that's quite the reaction to mixing and matching Gain scents. Let's hear another from Ashley, who mixed Gain products and went,
I'm so excited.
yes, you are. What about you, Isaiah?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and Emily summed it up like so.
It is just chef's kiss.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Mix, match, more happy with Gain.
The South Coast Health Heart and Vascular Program is nationally recognized year after year for providing world-class care. Our heart and vascular team goes above and beyond to deliver the best clinical care and most compassionate service. You receive the time, attention, and communication you need to feel most comfortable, because at South Coast Health, you are what matters most. We are South Coast Health Heart and Vascular. Visit southcoast.org/heart to learn more.
Connect with Boston's home for sports online. 98.5 thesportshub.com.
Our pregame interview with Joe Sacco is brought to you by Safety Insurance, providing comprehensive coverage for your auto, home, and business. Ask your independent agent about safety. We'll help you manage life's storms.
Joe, as you get set to take on the Kings here today, we haven't had a chance to talk to you yet. Just can you give us a little insight into maybe the pros and cons and the thought process last night, third period, whether to challenge, whether not to challenge? You guys took a timeout, so you really took a close look at it. But, a lot of different scenarios can occur from that. So what was the thought process there?
Well, number one, we wanted to make sure that we used the proper time to evaluate the situation, because sometimes on the bench, when we have the monitors, it's tough for us to see every camera angle. So we're getting feedback from our video coaches who can see different angles sometimes. And our interpretation of that play was that the puck carrier originally, when he was crossing the blue line, he lost possession of the puck, or he just stopped. He didn't have possession. Once he crossed the blue line, the puck had left his stick, which therefore gave his teammate time to tag up at the blue line by the time he regained possession. So typically it's like a delayed call, right? But our interpretation was, because he didn't have possession crossing the blue line and his teammate had the ability to tag up, that it was going to be a goal regardless. So we felt like, that was going to be a losing call for us at that time. And to put them on the power play at that time, we would have been chasing the game with just around 3 minutes to go in the game. So that was the call that we made on that.
Do you agree with the interpretation of the rule, the way it's written?
It's hard, because you definitely see it, after the game, you see it, how he lost possession of the puck. Okay. But I don't know if I necessarily agree with how it's called.
Yeah.
I can see why it is, but the player still is over the blue line at the time. But once that player with the puck regained possession, the other player had touched the blue line with his skate. So, again, we felt it was a losing call.
So moving on here tonight, you had mentioned a couple days ago that you might see some different combinations. Can we anticipate that here today?
Yeah, you might. Yeah. You're going to see some different combinations. There's probably a little too much for me to get into right now, but yeah, we're gonna. Our three lines, our fourth line from last game will remain intact. Our D pairs will remain intact, Sways and net. But we're going to have some different looks up front with our top three lines tonight.
And what do you hope to see from it? Is it more of an individual standpoint of saying, okay, this guy maybe can develop some chemistry here, or this guy can, or is it more of the lines?
I think it's a couple of things. I think it's one, let's see some different players play with other guys. I think that's one. Let's see if there's chemistry somewhere else. We're struggling to score. It's no secret. We're even, generating the last couple of games hasn't been our strength either. So, it's a combination of that, and it's a combination to shake things up. You can't just keep doing the same thing over and over. We need a little more of a balanced attack. I think that's part of the mindset for us as a staff going into today is let's maybe look at a balanced attack here, spread off the offense a little bit more, and see how it goes. You never know until you put players together how they're going to respond, and it does excite players sometimes to play with different players.
You look at the Kings, your opponent here tonight, how would you kind of describe their style? I know that they exploded for a bunch of goals the other day, but they're usually pretty good defensively.
Yeah, you're right. You're bang on. I mean, to me, they're committed to a checking game. They're stingy defensively. They did score 6 or 7 the other night against a good Carolina team. They're a strong home team, but they're committed to their checking game. Defensively, they're stingy. They protect the slot well, and they defend the rush well. So, for us, it's the same old story. And we have to build our game offensively the correct way by playing behind. if we don't have any space through the neutral zone or coming over the blue line. If we have space, great, but otherwise we have to build our game, and it's going to be a priority tonight that we have to work to the inside. They do a good job of keeping teams to the outside. Well, you got to find a way to get inside the dots against this team. The puck has to get there, and then bodies have to get there as well. That's the only way you're going to manufacture offense.
And the last one for you on the flip side of that, they did explode with a bunch of goals the other day. What makes them dangerous offensively?
Well, I mean, they still have some elite players up top, right? They have Kempe, they have Kopitar, just to name a couple of guys. And I think they're a big, strong team that goes to the net well. They use the back of the net to the slot well, so our coverage around our net front is going to have to be tight.
Appreciate it, Joe. Good luck on your night.
Okay, thanks.
That's Coach Joe Sacco. Bruins and the Kings are next.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the 98.5 The Sports Hub, Bruins Radio Network.
From the Town Fair Tire Studios, this is Boston's home for sports. WBZ-FM at HD Boston, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Easily Media Group Station.
In case you missed it late last night, the Bruins played a hard-fought game against the Sharks, but ended up on the losing side for the 13th time in their last 16 games.
Sharks just looking to eat it and let the time run out, and it will. San Jose with a late goal by Lucas Carlson, and then an empty netter takes a 3-1 victory tonight here over the Bruins.
Now, after dropping the first 2 games on this road trip, they have to turn it right back around tonight against L.A. The Kings team riding high after a statement win yesterday. The Bruins and the Kings coming up next.
Boston Bruins hockey is driven by the stylish Honda Accord, available at your local New England Honda dealers.
Cross to Esposito, a shot.
Cam Neely. Nathan Horton wins Game 7 in overtime. David Pastrnak wins the series for the Bruins. A chance in front, score, and it's Geeky again.
The Bruins are brought to you by VA New England, Granite City Electric GCE Nitrate, Valvoline Instant Oil Change, Coors Banquet, Bosch Tools, your New England Ford dealers, Live Nation, Safety Insurance, Peerless Boilers, and by Shaw's and Star Market.
Backhand and a save, Thomas. Swayman made a great stop at the far post.
And by Town Fair Tire, TD Bank, your Boston area Nissan dealers, Charles D. Sheehy, Ticketmaster, Dairy Queen, McGovern Auto Group, Hub International New England, Timberline Construction, your Eastern Region Lexus dealers, and by DraftKings Sportsbook.
Back to Orr. Put in. Fire. His 100th backhand score on a penalty shot for Raymond Bourque.
David Pastrnak calls game, and the Bruins win it 2-1. Bergeron, and the Bruins win the series.
Now here's Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers.
Bruins making their lone visit to Los Angeles this season, getting ready to take on the Kings. Boston trying to snap out of this losing streak against a really good defensive team and a really good goaltender. How do they generate some scoring today?
Only 9 goals for the Bruins here over the last 5 games, all of them losses. You mentioned, the games that they've lost here, only 3 wins out of their last 16 games. And then you got to face a team like the Kings who really know how to shut it down and lock it down defensively and really make it tough on you. So this is going to be a massive challenge. The LA Kings have only lost 3 games in regulation all season long on home ice. And the Bruins are going to try to snap this 5-game losing streak here against them today. So, yeah, they know that they're in for a huge challenge. And it will not be easy against a big, strong team that's built for the playoffs and is very confident right now in the way that they play.
Tonight's keys to the game brought to you by Town Fair Tire. For the guaranteed lowest prices on tires, go to Town Fair Tire, because nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. We'll have the opening face-off next on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time to take an adventure with rugged capability and commanding style. Check out the Honda Ridgeline, Pilot, or CR-V. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 3.99% APR on a 2025 Pilot, a 1.99% APR on a 2025 Ridgeline, or a 2.99% APR on a 2025 CR-V.
See dealer for financing details.
American Giant makes great clothing, sweatshirts, jeans, and more right here in the U.S. Visit American-Giant.com and get 20% off your first order with code STAPLE20. That's 20% off your first order at American-Giant.com, code STAPLE20.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Celtics play here at the Sports Hub.
Back here at the Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles, the Bruins and the Kings getting ready for their second and final meeting of the year. They haven't played each other since the third game of the season, October the 12th, back at TD Garden. Bruins scored a 2-1 overtime victory. Let's go down and get tonight's national anthem prior to the opening puck drop.
Harmonica class from the Koreatown Senior and Community Center.
Getting set for the opening face-off here between the Kings and the Bruins. We take a look at our starting lineups here tonight. In goal for Los Angeles is Darcy Kemper. On defense, the pairing of Joel Edmondson and Brant Clark. Up front, Andrei Kuzmenko, Andrzej Kopitar, and Adrian Kempe. For the Bruins, it's Jeremy Swayman starting in goal, Mason Lohrei and Andrew Peak, your defenseman up front, Elias Lindholm, Cole Koepke, and Vinny Lettieri. Starting lineups are brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code SportsHub. That's code SportsHub for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
First 5 minutes of tonight's game presented by your New England Ford dealers. Tonight's New England Ford dealers' first five contestant of the game is Allison Johnson of Worcester, Mass. If the Bruins score in the first 5 minutes, Allison wins a pair of tickets to a future Bruins game courtesy of the New England Ford dealers. Enter the contest at 985thesportshub.com. Bruins will be going from left to right on offense in the first period. In the road, white helmets and sweaters, black pants. Kings in black from head to toe. As the Bruins win the opening faceoff, puck played along the near side by Peak, but taken away, and back come the Kings in a hurry. Kempe turned it over just inside the Boston blue line. Elias Lindholm feathers one into the LA zone. It gets directed back toward Koepke. Right in front, Lindholm, and he scores! And the Bruins strike first just 19 seconds in. Elias Lindholm. How about that?
We just got done talking about how good and how stingy the LA Kings are defensively and how strong they are inside the defensive zone. But wow, what a mistake this was. I mean, there's 3 LA Kings all outside the dot on the left wing side. And what a breakdown this is. I mean, you 3 guys there, and they leave Lindholm just wide open in front of the net. Too easy. And the pass comes from the left wing side. Lindholm receives the pass and just goes to the backhand. Kemper's got to try to sprawl to his left to make the save. And good composure by Lindholm to finish that off. But, I mean, Kings had guys back. They just a really poor job identifying and reading that rush.
The 13th goal of the year for Lindholm as the Bruins jump out to an early 1-0 lead. Puck comes back into Boston territory. Middlestat will take it there. He's centering between Pasternak and Husnudinov here as Pasternak pushes it into the LA zone, into the near corner where it's taken away by Anderson. Way back into the far corner, and we get a whistle as the Bruins are offside.
I mean, literally just too easy. Edmondson kind of looked like, he had this look about what are we doing here? You got all 3 guys, and it's Kopitar. I mean, you got the guys back that you want, and Edmondson has Lindholm, and then he's going to let him go, and he's going to drift over to the corner, and Kopitar also goes to the corner. You already had a D over there in Clark.
Face-off win here by Geekie. Puck will come to the near side wall. Backhanded across the line by Wotherspoon. Came back to him, and now he's going to get whistled for a hand pass. So with Pasternak playing with Middlestat and Husnudinov, a little different look from this line. Fabian Lysell slots in on that wing that normally belongs to Pasternak with Geekie and Zacha.
Well, Geekie and Pasternak and Zacha have had some pretty good chemistry. I mean, that's the line that's really been carrying the team offensively whenever there are goals. But an opportunity here for Middlestat in this game.
There's Zacha sending it around behind the LA net. Wotherspoon at the right point, back toward the corner. Zacha that's shoved away from it. Now he's in a battle in the corner against Gavrikov. Puck came behind the net, chasing it into the far corner of Ferrier. Volleys it out through neutral ice. Got free near the Boston line. Geekie's got it. Drops it back to Wotherspoon. Now Lysell on the near boards. Hit by Gavrikov. That freed the puck up. Jordan Spence circles through his own zone here for Los Angeles. From the red line, tried to dump it in. That got blocked, and Patrick Brown's headed the other way. Brown moves across the line, takes the shot. Kemper, the glove stop, hangs on to it. Less than 2 minutes into this first period, Bruins out to a 1-goal lead.
Yeah, a couple of mistakes by LA. I mean, Spence just tried to dump that puck in. He might put it off his own player right at the blue line. And then the Bruins come back the other way. They were trying to make a change, the Kings were.
You talked about how good Los Angeles has been here on home ice this year. Just overall, they're 12-4-3 over their last 19 games. 4 regulation losses.
Well, they're 13-0-3 in their last 16 on home ice.
Right.
Have not lost in regulation in the last 16.
I mean, just getting a goal against Kemper early on is a big one because he's given up 7 goals total in his last 7 starts, including a pair of shutouts in there. Puck angled out of the near corner here. Drew Doughty going to carry it up into the neutral ice. Fires a pass off the far board. Swayman will play it away from the side of the net. It came back to Doughty at the point. Kings press it in behind the net. Lohrei able to get position, win it back off the near wall. He finds Brown into the neutral zone for Lauko, and he chips it deep into LA territory. Doughty reversed it back toward the near corner. Brown gets in there to get a stick on it. Played through Beecher. And along the near side, it'll be pushed up ice by Turcotte. Lohrei back again to retrieve for the Bruins. Pete gets a pass from Lauko, brings it to the red line and dumps it in. They had gone for a change. 17:25 left here in the first period. Kings start through the neutral ice. Kempe deals it across the line, moving right in front. Kopitar scores on the backhand, and the Kings captain ties it at 1.
Yeah, pretty good answer here by Los Angeles. It's just good puck movement. The Bruins complete a change. Kemper stopped this puck behind the nets, a set-up breakout, move the puck up to the right wing, and then zip this pass all the way across to the left side. And Yoki Haryu's the right defenseman. I don't think he anticipated that puck getting over there. It's close to being offside, but Kopitar receives this pass on the left wing, comes in. He's a left-hand shot. He outweights Swayman, is able to slide him by the left skate on the backhand.
Goals in back-to-back games for Kopitar, who had 2 points yesterday. So an even game here, just about 3 minutes into the first period. Each team already on the board. Edmondson played it out into the neutral ice here for L.A. Picked off by Middlestat. Husnudinov will bring it down into the left wing circle. Hands off there to Middlestat. Now rotated to Pasternak. Pasternak got it across ice. Here's Wotherspoon to the right circle. A shot kicked away by Kemper. Long rebound. Pasternak gives over to Wotherspoon. Try to backhand it for Pasternak. Wheels it back toward the blue line. Slips away from a couple of Kings, but then lost it along the near boards. And Kuzmenko will bring it through the neutral ice. Slipped around a check attempt by Zadorov, then got knocked down by Pasternak inside the Boston zone. Puck settled in behind the net. Bruins with possession. Wotherspoon sending it for Lysell, breaking out of the zone. Down the right wing boards and all the way around into the far corner. Doughty tried to play it up the wall. Referee got in the way. Zaka able to take advantage, get that puck back deep into the near corner. And a big hit by Geekie in the corner on Anderson. Anderson and Zaka collide now. Geekie digging for it as well. Zaka tried to reverse it, taken away by Deneau and brought out into neutral ice. Here's Fogle up across the Boston line. Ran out of room. Callahan looked like he caught a high stick. No call coming, and chance in front. Kings can't take advantage. Geekie will head back the other direction. Then he lost it just inside the LA zone before regaining it in neutral ice. 4.5 minutes gone by here in the first period. Peak tried to dump it in. That caught a piece of the linesman and stayed out. Byfield will chase into Boston territory. In the near corner, both Peak and Beecher against a pair of Kings. On the near wall, Fiala. Peak gets it back, gives to Lorai. Up the left side to Lauko. His pass through neutral ice, couldn't find anyone. Now it's caught in his skates. Beecher's got it from center ice. He dumps in. Heads off on a chain.
A couple funny dump-ins to start this game. Guys hitting linesmen, guys hitting their own players.
And we get a whistle, and the Kings are offside. Officials come into play a couple of times already here early.
Yeah, Callahan caught that stick up high. And he was getting some repairs over on the Bruins bench. Oh, yeah, he got it pretty good.
Getting looked at right now by the medical staff. Face off just outside the Boston blue line. Callahan's second game back in the lineup after getting recalled from Providence. Lindholm will take this draw against Alex Turcotte after Jeannot got asked to leave. Jokiharju back inside the Boston zone. Bruins moving from left to right here in the first period. Cole Koepke redirects a pass in deep. Bruins tangled up in the near corner with Terry. Lindholm watching on as well. Puck poked free. Koepke against Turcotte along the near boards. Sent across ice. And will be brought ahead here by L.A. Dumped into the near corner of the Bruins zone. Turcotte got it on his stick. Koepke disrupted that. Turcotte trying to fight his way behind the net. Jeannot took a shoulder from Zadorov. Got it in front, though, and a chance in front by Hellenius. Couldn't get it on goal. Gavrikov tried to shoot it down toward the end boards. Picked off by Jokiharju, and he'll bring it up through the neutral ice. Hellenius blocked the dump in. Second effort. Jokiharju does get it into the LA zone, so the Bruins can finish a change. 6:10 gone here in the first period. 1-1 game. Casey Middlestat in front of the LA bench. Against three different black sweaters. Puck will come across the ice. And Gavrikov shoots it ahead toward the Boston blue line. Wotherspoon is there. He'll turn back up ice. Slips it down into the LA zone. Kemper going to shoot it out from the side of his net, but that's going to go for an icing.
Witherspoon didn't get all of his dump. It just kind of fluttered in. Kemper said, I'm going to play this. And he tried to make a pass up the ice. Misses everybody.
So face-off will come in the L.A. zone here with 13:23 left in this first period. Middlestat will stand in against Danault. And Middlestat wins it. Peak from the high slot with a shot. Glove stopped by Kemper. No rebound. And we'll take our first break. 13:19 to play here in the first period. Each team already with a goal on the 98.5 The Sports Hub. Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V. It's your local Honda dealer.
Okay, I've got good news and bad news. Here's the bad news. Most protein bars are packed with sugar, carbs, and unpronounceable ingredients. The good news? There's a much better option. I'm Will, and I crafted IQ Bar plant protein bars with clean, functional, delicious ingredients to empower doers like you with superior brain and body fuel.
Go to IQBAR.com and enter code AUDIO to get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Here in America, work is in trouble. We've offshored our manufacturing, sent away good jobs, and lost so much ability to make things. American Giant is a company that's pushing back against this tide. They make high-quality clothing, sweatshirts, jeans, dresses, jackets, and so much more right here in the USA. Visit American-Giant.com and get 20% off your first order when you use code STAPLE20 at checkout. That's 20% off your first order at American-Giant.com. Promo code STAPLE20.
Listen live. Check out our podcast with the 98.5 The Sports Hub app.
We've got another winner in the New England Ford First Five contest. Allison Johnson of Worcester wins a pair of tickets to a future Bruins game courtesy of the New England Ford dealers. That's because Elias Lindholm got the Bruins on the board just 19 seconds into this first period. Kings have since answered on the goal by Anze Kopitar at 2:43. We've got 13:19 left here in the first in a 1-1 game. Face off in the offensive zone. Middlestat will take that draw up against Danault. Danault won it. Doughty plays it around the boards. Jumps past Pasternak. Vogel through the neutral ice. Danault trying to get it back across toward the right side. Blocked by Middlestat, who then knocked him down along the near boards. Peak takes a hit from Danault in deep. Vogel trying to dig it free along with Laura. Vogel playing in his 500th career game today. Puck comes across the ice through neutral for Husnadina. He chops it deep into LA territory. Reverse back toward the near corner. Danault gets it off the wall into neutral ice. Vogel fighting his way through Jokiharju on the left circle. He's all by himself. Kings went for a change. Vogel able to keep it loose though. Spins it back up the near wall, and a shot by Anderson goes wide through the slot. Middlestat stopping in front of the Boston bench. Fedorov to Jokiharju, and up the right side, the pass for Pasternak, denied at the blue line by Edmondson.
You know, Vogel does a good job there, right? Everybody's changing. He holds on to the puck, but the Bruins don't do a great job in taking away some of the time and space, and it allows him to hold on to the puck, wait for reinforcements to enter the zone and get some help there.
And there were three guys around him, and nobody really attacked him. It felt like puck gets in front here looking for Kopitar, but that was broken up. On the near side corner, Kuzmenko trying to get it to Kopitar, cutting toward the net. That ended up going wide. Campbell on the far boards, gave it away to Witherspoon. Parker's pass across ice finds Lysell with some space up the right wing side, down the circle, and the shot into the chest protector of Kemper, hangs on to it.
Yeah, Geekie initially flew the zone there. He was looking for that long pass. The Bruins didn't catch it in time. Eventually, they move that puck over. Witherspoon moves it over to Lysell over on the right side. And you've got Zacha going to the net. If you can put this puck on the pads of Kemper, he better serve there. They kind of got it into the midsection, and this puck sticks to Kemper. There's no rebound, no chance of a rebound.
Fabian Lysell, third NHL game, second since he was recalled from Providence. Lindholm tossed out the face-off circle. Terry stands in his place in the offensive zone. Pulls it toward the near wall, but Spence got it first. Kings get it cleared. Callahan chasing back into the Boston zone. It'll be an LA icing.
Well, they win the draw. They go for that long pass up the right side. Misses everybody. And a little bit of a sloppy start, I would say, for both teams.
Lindholm will get a face-off again in the attack zone.
Maybe not sloppy, choppy. Let's put it that way.
Up angled into the neutral zone. Near the Boston line, Koepke regains. Lettieri taps a Callahan pass forward. Going back deep for the Kings was Gavrikov, and as he tried to play it up ice, that one's going to go out of play. So choppiness continues.
Yeah, when if you're not sharp, you see icings, you see puck, offsides, you see pucks being thrown into the benches, and not a lot of flow. Basically, the way they described it to start this game.
Both of these teams on a back-to-back, third game in 4 days.
I think the Kings really, you want to win every game. You're focused on the progress, or process, I should say. You're focused on certain things you want to do in order to make yourself a better team. But if you have an eye towards the big picture, if they're going to have to play Edmonton again, they want to be on home ice.
He leveled someone along the near boards. Couldn't see who it is underneath him. It's Turcotte, and they were wrestling puck up ice now with Beecher, who throws one toward the net. Lauko unable to tip that toward the goal. Now knocks it away from Kemper at the side of the net. The Kings will get possession, then turn it over. Coming out of the zone is Brown.
It's a good hit by Peak. I think Turcotte was a little bit off balance when he went down.
Puck sent out toward the blue line here. Lohrei will sweep it right back around behind the Kings net. Peak pinching in along the near wall, puts a shoulder into Jeannot. Going behind his own net, Alenius. Anderson will sweep it back in behind the Kings net. Now gets it back. Sent out into neutral ice. Errant pass. Middlestat brings the Bruins right back in. On the near circle. Lost his edge. Stayed with the puck. Deflected across the ice. Zadorov couldn't get it. Now the Kings have numbers up the ice. On the right side, it's Byfield. Took the shot. Saved by Swayman.
Good hustle by Usendinov to come all the way back there to make sure that they didn't have a passing option on the play. That's just a really good back check after the pinch by Zadorov.
Jokiharju clears one, but that's going to angle all the way down for an icing. 9:51 left here in the first period.
Yeah, you can see that developing, right? Offensive blue line for the Bruins. There's going to be a pinch there at that offensive blue line, and right back the other way for the Kings on that 2-on-1. But Usendinov gets himself back. Byfield ends up taking the shot from the right side because they really didn't have anything else. And a nice save made by Swayman.
Face off to his right. Kings with 3 shots on Swayman so far. Bruins have 5 on Kemper. Off the near glass, it'll be cleared. Pasternak trying to push it past Edmondson in the neutral zone. Comes back toward Pasternak in the air, gloves it down. Into the LA zone it goes, around the boards. To the far circle. Usnadinov. They'll sweep it back down low. Pasternak cuts back to his forehand toward the far side of the net. Now to his backhand, got it out in front. But unable to take advantage was Jokiharju, who was in there tight. And the Kings are going to get whistled for an icing as another errant pass coming up the ice.
Well, they're trying to catch Jokiharju, right? He had already moved in, so they're trying to get that long pass up the ice. It does not connect. They're looking for Ferrier. Yeah, it's been some mistakes made here early in this game. Reads, LA, great example on the first goal by Lindholm. Terrible read by the Kings. And communication coming back.
Attack zone face-off off of the icing. Byfield gets a warning. Second chance. Zaka pulls it back. Geeky backhands it around the wall. Kemper steps out behind the net. Shoots it around the near boards. Bounced off of Pete. Fiala gets the clear. Vorai to Zaka near the red line. To the left side for Geeky. And deep into LA territory again. Kemper just chips it out of the trapezoid into the far corner. Things will start forward here. Trevor Lewis. Now back into the LA zone. And it'll be lifted over the head of Lysell and over a leaping Fogle as well. But batted back in his direction. Fogle going to carry it forward. Takes a long shot. Stick save made by Swayman. Puck into the near corner. And Fogle first there for LA. Around the far boards it comes to Spence at the right point. Right back deep. Vorai takes one off the end wall. Angles a pass up ahead for Lysell. And from the red line he'll chip it in. Bruins go for a full change with 8:25 to go here in the first period. Kings start forward with Spence. Dumping one around the wall. Wotherspoon reversed it back in behind the net. Taken away by Kuzmenko. Put it out in front. The Bruins able to survive that. Wotherspoon from the near circle. His pass missed Kepke. Went right through Gavrikov. Gavrikov having to come back under pressure in his own zone. Puck bouncing to Kopitar. Kempe on the near side. They set it up along the left wing toward the net was Kuzmenko.
Kempe and Wotherspoon battling in front. Kempe just got away with a cross check. They both hammering away at one another.
Kopitar looking for Kuzmenko, high slot. Kuzmenko got it off the near board, sends one in front off of Swayman, who then covers it up as the rebound gets swept back into his crease.
Yeah, they're having words now. Kempe and Wotherspoon after the whistle. They went at it pretty hard in front of the net.
7:38 left here in the first period in a 1-1 game on the 98.5 The Sports Hub, Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
You turned your dating app for pets into a business, which just turned over its first billion. You turned around the fortunes of a failing football club, politely turned down a Nobel Peace Prize, and turned up on Mars in your own reusable rocket. All while struggling to turn on the dishwasher. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover business development titles on Audible.
Hotels.com knows that planning your book club's annual trip can get chaotic. Self-improvement Steve needs a hotel gym, and Horror Harriet ghosted the group chat about budget. Collaborate, vote on your favorites, and book all in the app. Find your perfect somewhere with Hotels.com.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Home of the Revs, the Sports Hub.
Fans, get ready for the call-up and join the Bruins season ticket waitlist to gain access to season tickets in priority order as they become available, plus score priority access to ticket pre-sales, be the first to hear about the latest Bruins news and merchandise drops, and receive a dedicated account executive to address your needs year-round. Visit bostonbruins.com/waitlist and learn more and secure your spot in line. 7:38 to go here in the first period. Bruins and the LA Kings are tied at 1. See a defensive zone face-off for Patrick Brown. Joe Sacco keeping this fourth line together, same as last night. Brown with Beecher and Lauko. He shuffled things a bit on the other three lines today. Lauko coming out into the neutral zone, got tripped up. Kings with possession. Kempe from the red line. Cross-ice dump into the far corner. Zadorov angles it behind the net to his defense partner, Jokiharju. Trying to get it to Beecher up the near side. It's picked off, thrown right in front. Kopitar had Kempe and just missed him with a pass.
Yeah, Jokiharju got back to lift the stick, but he turned it over.
Kuzmenko in the far corner, knocked down by Zadorov. Puck comes careening around toward the near corner. Kopitar pressed it back in behind the net. Winning loose was Kuzmenko. Turns and fires a wide-angle shot off Swayman. A drive by Anderson gets blocked. Anderson's got it back at the blue line. Over to Doughty. Now Kuzmenko with a long shot. Tipped just wide on the stick side. Dumped in by Brown into the LA zone. Boston will get a change here with 6.5 to go in the period. Dowdy with a long pass through neutral ice. A Ferrier inside the Boston zone, near circle. Had it taken away by Peak. On the end boards, Lorai pivots away from pressure, plays it into the corner, but the ricochet comes right to Fiala. And the Kings get set up offensively, and then Fiala loses it. And it trickles out across the blue line. Edmondson dumps it back in.
Lorai tried to come out from behind the net, but really had nowhere to go, and it didn't have any outs. There's nobody in position.
Finds a long pass ahead here from Middlestat, coming up the right wing side. Pasternak just out of the reach of Husnudinov on a pass through the slot. Kings headed the other way in a hurry. Byfield down the right circle, sends one across, and it was tipped before it got to Laferriere.
Good stick by Lorai there.
On the near circle, Laferriere got it back, center of the blue line. Over to the right side now. And a shot by Fiala that goes off the backboards. Byfield takes it off the near wall. Fiala at the point. Whipped it around Pasternak into the corner. Lorai put a shoulder on Laferriere, who chased it into the far corner now. Got there first. Byfield's pass into the middle is taken away by Lorai. Got it to the blue line, but not out. Juggling play by Laferriere to keep it in, but the Kings will go for a change.
We've had a couple of those hope plays where they just try to send it to the front of the net and, just try to funnel pucks there and get bodies there, but the Bruins maintaining their position, able to knock that away.
Arthur Wotherspoon, blue line pass, did not connect with Geekie, and that'll be a Bruins icing.
Between the Pipes is sponsored by Charles D. Sheehy. If you're in the piping trades, you need to call Charles D. Sheehy, Boston's premier piping and mechanical product supplier. CDS is your local leader. In the pipes for the Kings here tonight is Darcy Kemper. The Bruins, it's Jeremy Swayman.
Swayman still looking for career win number 100. He's dropped 3 straight starts, allowed 13 total goals in those 3 games. Darcy Kemper mentioned some of his numbers earlier. Second in the league with a 2.13 goals against average, a 9.19 in the league coming into the day. As Geekie along the near wall trying to battle out of the Bruins zone. Instead, the puck comes deep, and Trevor Lewis up against it, battling with Wotherspoon. Lewis getting back into the lineup because Trevor Moore suffered an injury in yesterday's game. Lewis hadn't played in the last 8. On the near side, Dano. Took a shoulder from Geekie. Weissel's got the puck, moving through neutral ice. Zacha across the line. His shot blocked by Dowdy into the far corner. Zacha gets to it first. Around the near wall it comes to Jokiharju. And in behind the net. Zacha trying to get it in front. Knocked down and taken away by Dano. Vogel will just lift it forward. LA goes for a change. Bruins doing likewise. 4 minutes to go here in the period. And that pass did not connect with Lindholm. It's another icing against the Bruins.
I mean, they're trying to make passes here, and they're missing them. The first one, the last Geekie, that was in the middle of the ice. This one was Lindholm on the boards, and all they're trying to do is redirect the puck into the zone. Long, hard pass, redirect the puck into the zone. You've got guys coming up with speed to establish a forecheck, and they can't connect on them.
Something in the air today, apparently, because it's happening in both directions, it feels like. Kings back in their own zone. Pass out into the neutral ice. Zadorov able to take one away in front of the LA bench, and now he's forced backward toward his own blue line. Pass across to Jokiharju up the right side with Terry. Help that one deep. Clark takes a hit from Lindholm on the near wall. Battle for possession. Came back loose to Clark. He tried to play it up the boards. That was blocked by Koepke. Now LA will break out. And Janot's pass hit a body, kicked back toward Koepke, just inside the LA zone, but he gets tangled with Janot. Both guys going down. Turcotte will bring it forward here for Los Angeles, trying to get it right in front for Hellenius, but stick play by Lorai to win that puck back.
Peak as well. He got the piece of that.
Around the far wall it'll go. In the corner. Shot around the near boards by Letary. Gavrikov pulls it off the wall. Steps right in on the left circle. And a shot from in close. Swayman makes the save. Kopitar back at the blue line here. Over to Spence. Deep it comes. Lorai able to slip away from a check by Janot. Peak. Pass up the middle. Did not connect with Koepke. Kings get right back in. Kempe with a step down the left circle. Goes around behind the net. Oh, and Swayman made the pad stop at the far post as he wrapped it around. Stepping in for a shot pass from the far circle was Spence. Didn't connect, and the puck will come out through neutral ice.
Strong move by Kempe, but what a save here by Swayman with the left pad getting all the way over. Kempe looked like he had himself a sure goal. He's going to come in hard on the left side, fake that shot. You get Swayman to come out, but he has to respect the possibility of the shot or that pass back door, and then he goes around the net on his forehand to try to wrap it around, and Swayman quick to get back to his left.
Just under 2 minutes to play here in the first period of a tie game. Puck batted out through neutral ice, picked off by Byfield. Brought back into the LA zone. Doughty finds Byfield coming out. Fiala on the Boston blue line, gives into the middle for Doughty. Over to the right circle, a shot by LaFerriere, and a snazzy glove save by Swayman. 1:34 left here in the first period. Bruins and Kings still tied at 1 here on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
With features like instant alerts when new listings match your criteria, Apartments.com makes finding a new place, well, less, if I may, laborious.
Don't stop. One more. Keep pushing, honey.
Yes!
It's an adorable townhome. And a baby. Oh, yes, my baby. Look where we're gonna live, sweet pea.
That's emotional. Apartments.com, the place to find a place.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger. Because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Everybody's talking about inflation. At Ocean State Job Lot, we've been fighting inflation for 48 years. Spring-hinged reading glasses at your favorite drugstore are $20. Buy them at Job Lot for $3. $20 sunglasses, $5. Designer sunglasses, $7. Looking for American-made disposable aluminum bakeware? Save 70%. If you're a gardener, you can purchase burpee flour and vegetable seed anywhere. At Ocean State Job Lot, we sell it at 40% off. We haven't even mentioned crazy deals where you can buy things for free.
The only place to hear the game, the Sports Hub.
Elias Lindholm's goal, assisted by Cole Koepke. Our delivery of the game, delivered by Granite City Electric's GCE Night Train. Electrical contractors, get on board the GCE Night Train. Order your materials to be delivered overnight to the job site the following morning and save time and money. Go to GCEnighttrain.com to order. 1:34 left here in the first period. Bruins and LA tied at 1.
A couple really strong saves made by Swayman. Punctuated with that save he made on Kempe coming around the net on the wraparound try. Kempe thought he had himself a sure goal. Great recovery by Swayman to get back.
I think most people in the building thought Kempe had a sure goal there as well. Up into the near circle. Fiala will play it down along the end boards. Jokiharju able to angle LaFerriere away from it. Comes back down low and sent right in front. A chance in front by LaFerriere, taken away by Swayman. On the near corner. Middlestat got it up the wall, but Byfield takes that. Anderson shot it back into the pile along the near wall. Brought free by Fiala, stepping in front. Sends one through the slot. But Zadorov there, and he will send it up ice. Not quite far enough for an icing. Doughty retreats. He'll start LA out. And then turns it back. Dano chased behind his own net by Pasternak. Into a forecheck from Lindholm. But the Kings managed to break the pressure. Vogel along the near wall. Dano sends one across, and down the right side came Lewis all by himself. The puck just out of his reach. Now from behind the net, a chance right in front, and they score. And it's Vogel who gives the Kings a 2-1 lead. Less than 30 seconds to go here in the first.
They've been starting to trend this direction. The Bruins have been stuck on 5 shots for a while. And the Kings have been pushing. Even when they haven't gotten pucks on net, they've had possession of the puck in the offensive end. And they're going to work from behind the net this time. And it's Deneau. You got 4 white jerseys in front of the net. And Deneau's going to make this little pass to Fogle, who just finds his way in between 4 white jerseys who are right there.
So for Fogle in his 500th career game, he ties his career high with 20 goals on the season. He had set that career high last year. And the Bruins fall behind here in the final minute of the period as Callahan steers one into the neutral zone. Elias Lindholm sandwiched between a pair of Kings. Fogle lifts one high up into the air and bouncing down deep into Boston territory. That's going to bring us to the end of the first period. For Fogle, that's also his 100th career goal. So all kinds of milestones for him today. And it gets the Kings the lead as they head to the locker room for the first intermission. We'll be back with our first intermission next here on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
This is the story of the one. As a quality technician in a food processing center, she knows that making the right call is the best way to avoid a recall. That's why she trusts Grainger's world-class supply chain to deliver the high-quality supplies she needs to help keep her production line, her equipment, and her customers happy and healthy. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
American Giant makes great clothing, sweatshirts, jeans, and more right here in the U.S. Visit American-Giant.com and get 20% off your first order with code STAPLE20. That's 20% off your first order at American-Giant.com, code STAPLE20.
Plus tax, tag license, $400 doc fee and first payment with approved credit. 36-month leases, $54.99 due at signing, 0 security, 10,000 miles per year, ends 3/31/25.
Go to Greco, go to Greco.
We've got more Toyotas with huge savings. Greco Toyota has more to move with over 250 new Toyotas. Get a new 2025 Toyota Tacoma SR5 double cab 4x4 for only $205 a month. $205 a month. Or move on in the new 2025 Toyota RAV4 LE all-wheel drive for just $249 a month. $249 a month. Plus, trade in your current vehicle and get paid top dollar to use as a down payment. Greco Toyota has more inventory and more savings while they last. A new Tacoma for only $205 a month. Or new RAV4 for just $249 a month. So make your move on a new Toyota with a low payment at Greco Toyota. Minutes from anywhere on Route 44 in East Providence. Or shop online at GrecoToyota.com.
Will exceed your expectations. We guarantee it.
The South Coast Health Heart and Vascular Program is nationally recognized year after year for providing world-class care. Our heart and vascular team goes above and beyond to deliver the best clinical care and most compassionate service. You receive the time, attention, and communication you need to feel most comfortable, because at South Coast Health, you are what matters most. We are South Coast Health Heart and Vascular. Visit southcoast.org/heart to learn more.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
American Giant makes great clothing, sweatshirts, jeans, and more right here in the U.S. Visit American-Giant.com and get 20% off your first order with code STAPLE20. That's 20% off your first order at American-Giant.com, code STAPLE20.
Felger and Naz, afternoons 2 to 6 on the Sports Hub.
First intermission here in Los Angeles, and the Bruins trail it 2-1. Warren Fogel's goal at the 1931 mark, his 20th of the season, is the difference. Bruins getting on the board just 19 seconds into that first period. Well, on this Sunday night, as part of our first intermission, we're going to take you back to earlier this season and part of our conversation we had with Bruins legend Phil Esposito as he visited with us at TD Garden.
Just take us to 70, 71, 72. Obviously, the bond that you have, and just what it was like in this city to be part of that group and the success that you guys had.
Bobby, it was unbelievable. I can't describe. I don't know. It was like we owned the town. The Celtics were winning championships, but we owned the town. The Red Sox never got to that peak. In '67, they got close, but never got there. But when we won those 2 Stanley Cups, I mean, we could no wrong. I remember going on the Pike with Derek Sanderson. We were going out to make an appearance, and he's driving. We go to the toll booth. The guy says, I forget what the money was. Let's say it's $1 for the toll, okay, $1. Derek goes, I haven't any money, Phil. You got money? I says, gee, I don't know whether I got any money. The guy says, is that you, Derek Sanderson? I said, yeah. And Derek said, yeah, Phil Esposito over here. He said, oh, you guys go on ahead. I mean, that was the type of thing that it was special, man. I looked forward to coming to practice. And I wasn't a big guy to like to practice, but I look forward to coming just to see the guys and have laughs, because I had more fun with Jerry Cheevers and even Ace Bailey and Johnny Pye, because those guys were in the corner there, and they were the rudest guys. We had a lot of fun.
Where was the ultimate hangout? Where were you guys going at night?
Well, the single guys would go. You know, I was married, so it wasn't like I could go there. But on the road, I could tell you a few places. No, that's where we had a rule that everybody had to show up after a game on the road to have 1 beer, or if you didn't have a beer, have a soda, whatever. But you had to show up. And I remember when Jacques Plante came. And none of us cared for Jacques Plante. Really, none of us did. And he says, I'm not going. I said, you got to come, Jacques. It's part of the rules, and that's just the way. As you remember, we didn't have a captain. Chief was an assistant, so was I, and Dallas Smith. But Chief was the unofficial captain. There's no doubt about it. And because he was organizing the tickets, he organized the parties, so he was the guy. And I just remember saying to the guys, like, okay, you guys, you got to come. And when he came, he had to put some money into the pot. He said, but I don't drink. And Cash said to him,
good.
Too bad. Too bad you don't drink. Put your money in the pot. He did, and then he left. And that was
fair
it.
enough. He was there for one. That rule continued, by the way.
Did it?
Oh, definitely. That rule. So many years later, when I played briefly here, that rule was still there.
But you know what? They charter now.
Well, yeah.
And it's hard to do. These guys are.
I don't know if it still exists today, but I'm saying that.
Come on, you're going to roll with them. Who are you kidding? Yeah, guys.
Phil, thanks so much for dropping by. It's great to see you up here.
Thank you, Randy.
Looking forward to
good to see you
too,
again.
Phil. You too.
You know, he played for the Lightning that first year.
I know.
He traded for me, and then he traded me away.
I was trying to upgrade, Bobby. No offense. But it didn't work. Thanks, guys.
Look forward to seeing you down in Tampa in a couple of months.
You got it. Bye-bye.
Had a great time visiting with Phil Esposito earlier this year when he was in the booth with us at TD Garden during this year's Centennial game back in December. End of one here in Los Angeles. The Kings have a 2-1 lead over the Bruins. We'll check the out-of-town scores when we return on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time to take an adventure with rugged capability and commanding style. Check out the Honda Ridgeline, Pilot, or CR-V. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 3.99% APR on a 2025 Pilot, 1.99% APR on a 2025 Ridgeline, or a 2.99% APR on a 2025 CR-V.
See dealer for financing details.
This is the story of the one. As a quality technician in a food processing center, She knows that making the right call is the best way to avoid a recall. That's why she trusts Grainger's world-class supply chain to deliver the high-quality supplies she needs to help keep her production line, her equipment, and her customers happy and healthy. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This country was built on a distinctly American work ethic, but today, work is in trouble. We've outsourced most of our manufacturing to other countries, and with that, we sent away good jobs and diminished our capability to make things. American Giant is a clothing company that's pushing back against this tide. They make a variety of high-quality clothing and activewear, like sweatshirts, jeans, dresses, jackets, and so much more. All made right here in the USA, from growing the cotton and adding the final touches. So when you buy American Giant, you create jobs for seamsters, cutters, and factory workers in towns and cities across the United States. And it's about more than an income. Jobs bring pride, purpose. They stitch people together. If all that sounds good to you, visit American-Giant.com and get 20% off your first order when you use code STAPLE20 at checkout. That's 20% off your first order at American-Giant.com with promo code STAPLE20.
Plus tax, tag license, $400 doc fee, and first payment with approved credit. 36-month leases, $54.99 due at signing, 0 security, 10,000 miles per year, ends 3/31/25.
Go to Greco, go to Greco. We've got more Toyotas with huge savings. Greco Toyota has more to move with over 250 new Toyotas. Get a new 2025 Toyota Tacoma SR5 double cab 4x4 for only $205 a month. $205 a month. Or move on in the new 2025 Toyota RAV4 LE all-wheel drive for just $249 a month. $249 a month. Plus, trade in your current vehicle and get paid top dollar to use as a down payment. Greco Toyota has more inventory and more savings while they last. A new Tacoma for only $205 a month, or new RAV4 for just $249 a month. So make your move on a new Toyota with a low payment at Greco Toyota. Minutes from anywhere on Route 44 in East Providence, or shop online at GrecoToyota.com.
Will exceed your expectations. We guarantee it.
The home of the Bees, the Sports Hub.
Bruins trailing 2-1 after one here in Los Angeles. Let's take a look at the other action on the scoreboard around the NHL today. The Chicago Blackhawks with a 7-4 win over Philadelphia this afternoon. Brian Donato scored a pair of goals there for Chicago, and Connor Bedard with his 20th of the season. Buffalo Sabres upset Winnipeg this afternoon in Winnipeg, 5-3 to final. A 4-point day for Buffalo's Ryan McLeod, a goal and 3 assists. That is just the 5th regulation loss for the Jets in their last 23 games. Florida Panthers trailed by 2 to Pittsburgh, but came back to win it in a shootout today. 4-3 was the final score there. Nashville, meanwhile, dropped a 4-1 decision in St. Louis as the Blues now have a 4-point lead over Calgary for the second wild card spot in the West. The Flames have 3 games in hand. Vancouver, Utah still very much in the mix there as well. In Vegas, second intermission, the Golden Knights have a 3-1 lead over the Tampa Bay Lightning. Tampa currently 4 points behind Florida and 2 behind Toronto in the Atlantic. And they're through 2 periods as well in Anaheim, with the Carolina Hurricanes have a 2-1 lead over the Ducks. Carolina's 8-game winning streak came to an end here in L.A. yesterday. That's a look at the out-of-town scores here in Los Angeles. It's the Kings 2 and the Bruins 1. We'll have the second period coming up on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
Tax, tag license, $400 doc fee, and first payment with approved credit. 36-month leases, $54.99 due at signing, 0 security, 7,500 miles, ends 3/31/25.
More inventory means bigger savings. Go to Greco, go to Greco. There's more to move with over 250 new Toyotas at Greco Toyota. Like a new 2024 Toyota BZ4X XLE all-wheel drive, $99 a month. $99 a month. Or move in on a new 2025 Toyota Corolla Cross L all-wheel drive, $199 a month. $199 a month. Plus, trade in your current vehicle and get paid top dollar to use as a down payment. Greco Toyota has more inventory and more savings while they last. A Toyota BZ4X, $99 a month. Or roll across, $199 a month. So make your move on a new Toyota with a low payment at Greco Toyota. Minutes from anywhere on Route 44 in East Providence. Or shop online at GrecoToyota.com.
We'll exceed your expectations. We guarantee it.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
These days, work is in trouble. We've outsourced most of our manufacturing to other countries. And with that, we sent away good jobs and our capability to make things. American Giant is a clothing company that's pushing back against this tide. They make all kinds of high-quality clothing and activewear, like sweatshirts, jeans, dresses, jackets, and so much more, right here in the USA. So when you buy American Giant, you create jobs in towns and cities across the country. And jobs bring pride. Purpose. They stitch people together. If all that sounds good to you, visit American-Giant.com and get 20% off your first order when you use code STAPLE20 at checkout. That's 20% off your first order at American-Giant.com with promo code STAPLE20.
Hey, not to be dramatic, but you should smell this. It smells so good.
Whoa, that's quite the reaction to mixing and matching Gain scents. Let's hear another from Ashley, who mixed Gain products and went...
I'm so excited.
Yes, you are. What about you, Isaiah?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, and Emily summed it up like so.
It is just chef's kiss.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Mix, match, more happy with Gain.
WIC is a supplemental nutrition program that plays a crucial role in improving the health and well-being of children by providing families access to healthy foods, nutritional education, and other essential support services. WIC programs help improve the long-term health outcomes of mothers and children by ensuring all eligible families, regardless of immigration status, have access to cost-free nutrition resources they need to thrive. If you or someone you know could benefit from WIC, visit health.ri.gov/WIC or reach out to your local WIC office to learn more about eligibility and how to apply.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Connect with Boston's home for sports online. 98.5thesportshub.com.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification across the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins radio network.
From the Town Fair Tire Studios, this is Boston's home for sports. WBZ-FM at HD Boston. 98.5 The Sports Hub. Station.
Dano sends one across, and down the right side came Lewis all by himself. The puck just out of his reach. Now from behind the net, a chance right in front, and they score. And it's Fogle who gives the Kings a 2-1 lead. Less than 30 seconds to go here in the first. That's the difference in the game so far. And fans, TD Bank cardholders score special benefits at TD Garden, from pro shop discounts and free tours to free popcorn and more. Learn more at the TD Garden website. TD Bank, bank of the Boston Celtics and Bruins. As we get ready to start the second period, it's the Kings on top 2-1. Elias Lindholm scored just 19 seconds into this game, his 13th of the year, set up by Cole Koepke to give the Bruins an early 1-0 lead. Kings would come back about 2.5 minutes later. Anze Kopitar's 18th, set up by Adrian Kempe, and Brant Clark at 2:43 tied the game at 1. It remained tied until that goal by Fogle at 19:31. Philip Danault and Trevor Lewis getting the assists on that put the Kings up 2-1. The shots on goal in that first period were 8-5 in favor of LA, but Bruins didn't have a shot, Bearsy, in the last 11:42 of that first period.
Yeah, went back and looked at that because I knew that they had 5 early. You know, you had the first goal of the game and under 30 seconds in, and you know, he had a couple shots. They weren't overly dangerous. You know, the last one might have been Lysell from the right wing side, and that was stuck to Kemper, no rebound. But the Kings started to kind of impose themselves a little bit in that offensive end and make the Bruins work defensively and eventually get the late goal to give them the lead.
We'll see how the Bruins respond to start the second period here, down a goal, as Edmondson will drive it deep into Boston territory. Bruins will go from right to left on offense here in the second period. Collision in the near corner with Peak and Kuzmenko coming together. Vorai turns it up ice from the far circle, skates it out across his own blue line, feathered ahead by Lettieri. Kepke will chase deep into LA territory, gets a stick in there and able to knock it free from Clark. Pasternak wrapped it around the far side. Jokiharju at the blue line, gives to a cutting Middlestat with a long shot. Pasternak floating in front of Kemper, couldn't get the redirect. Clark will bring out Kempe's rather through neutral ice, off to the left side. Kuzmenko on that far wall, poked away by Middlestat, and we get a whistle.
I guess my question with the Kings, and we don't see them enough, so might be a little unfair just watching them. We're watching the third game of the season, now watching them again live here. They're a good-sized team. They're deep. You know, all 12 forwards had a point yesterday in their game against Carolina. Are they fast enough? Or do they need to be? You know, when they won Stanley Cups, they were just they were a heavy team, good defensively, wear you down. They've got a little bit of that feel to them now. You know, it's like they're not overly physical, but they just wear you down with puck possession, and they can be physical when they need to be. Does that beat Edmonton in the playoffs? I don't know.
Well, as you mentioned earlier, they didn't really do that much at the deadline. They acquired Kuzmenko, and that was about it. Rob Blake said after the fact that they were in on some other things that didn't materialize, and LA's going to get whistled for an icing here.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were surprised. Other than Kuzmenko, that's all they did. And now Kuzmenko's playing on the top line right now. He's playing with Kopitar and Kempe. Is that the best place for him? You know, they're giving it a good look, but they are deep. I mean, there's no question, there's no doubting that. But I watch them play and I see how they can wear you down. And look, the Bruins, I hate to say it, just they're not a deep team right now, so they can certainly do that against you, and they did in the first period. But there's nothing really dynamic about them. I mean, Kopitar is excellent. Don't get me wrong, and Kempe can certainly skate, but it's just they're not alone. But it's I don't know. You know, thinking out loud.
Steal by Zacha, gets it right in front to Geekie, he scores. Kings were coming out of the zone. Zacha took it away, and Geekie ties the game at 2.
Yeah, I mean, LA again, right? Bad read in the first period, and here in the second, they leave Geekie just wide open behind everybody. They're trying to clear the zone, but the Bruins are trying to win battles along the wall, and they try to work this puck back down. It's a turnover by the Kings. Great effort by Zacha and by, was that Lysell along the wall as well? Yes, I don't know if he'll get an assist on it, but he helps keep it alive. And then Geekie's behind everybody, and Zacha's able to find him. He's going to go off the post and in.
So Geekie with his 25th of the year, goals in 3 of his last 4. And the Bruins even it up early here in the second period. They'll come out of their own zone. Brown runs into a couple of Kings, gets the puck deep into LA territory. Kemper steers it toward the near corner. Played ahead for LaFerriere. Through neutral ice they come, and across the line. Left wing circle, shot by Byfield. Saved at the top of the crease by Swayman. No rebound.
See where the Bruins handle this, right? You get the game back to tied. You start managing the game a little bit better. It's been an issue for them most of the year. You know, when you get a goal, whether for or against, all of a sudden, you know, you kind of relax a little bit.
Zacha does get the lone assist on that goal by Geekie. It's 22 points in the last 27 games for Zacha. 16 goals and 21 points in 28 games for Geekie. Again, not playing with Pasternak today. Joe Sacco shaking things up a bit. Puck sent out of the Bruins zone here for Lindholm. Off to the left side, Kepke. Kepke down the left circle. Sent one right through the slot behind Letary. And now brought back into the neutral ice by Laferriere. Cutting to the right side. Plays the puck around Zadorov. And Zadorov holding his ground. Spence will hold in at the near point. Winding and firing from the left point was Gavrikov with a glove stop.
Well, Zadorov had the stick in between the legs there of, was that coming down on him? Laferriere, he just wanted to make sure he didn't. I mean, you could easily, if he starts to cross over, that's going to be a tripping penalty. So he's trying not to move his stick at all. And
17:02 to go here in the second period in a 2-2 game. Patrick Brown going to take the face-off in the defensive zone. To the right of Jeremy Swayman. Kopitar won it. Stepping down the left circle was Clark. Pivots back out of the corner. Gets it back to Edmondson. Center blue line shot. It's knocked down in front. Kempe got the loose puck and fired it wide. Wotherspoon diving out to try to block that. Clark plays it off the far boards. Kopitar flips it back toward the blue line. Kempe will play it down the near wall. Backhanded deeper. And Kuzmenko from behind the net. Gave it up and got it back along the far boards. Pivots away from Brown. Tried to backhand through the slot and does, but Kempe brings it back out toward the blue line. Hands back over to the far side to pass through the slot. This time taken away by Lauko. Off the near boards, and Brown able to get it through Kuzmenko and out of the zone. Clark back inside the LAN. And his pass missed everyone. That's another icing.
Fans of Bank is teaming up with Boston legend Patrice Bergeron again this season for Assist for Kids to help donate $37,000 to help Metro West families pay for youth hockey. Get details now at avidiabank.com/Team Bergeron.
Game 4 of this 5-game road trip will be on Wednesday night. It's down the road a bit in Anaheim. And a couple of days off after that as the trip moves back further east to Detroit. That'll be the final game of that road trip on Saturday night. As Pete finds Pasternak coming through neutral ice with some speed. That's to the right wing circle. Tried to get it back toward Peak, but it was picked off. And Lewis brings the Kings forward. Chips into the right wing corner and tries to go get it himself. Lorai gets a shoulder on him and brings the puck in behind the net. Lewis still chasing Lorai as they come back out into the neutral ice. Puck comes all the way across the ice. And nobody over here. Doughty gets to it first in the neutral zone. It's Peak regaining and dropped it back. Lorai with a long pass off of Middlestat near the attacking blue line. Turned over to Deneau. Doughty will skate the Kings forward. Leaves it for Fogle. Lifted across the ice. Turcotte played it toward the far corner. Doughty in there. Knocked free. Middlestat will chip it out. Turcotte dropping it back to Anderson. And LA back in their own zone here as we hit 5 minutes gone in the second period. Kings will come forward with Chanot. Inside the Boston zone. Tried one shot. That didn't work. Zaka got it out of the corner. Finds Lysell. Fabian through the neutral zone. Steps in across the line. Takes a low shot. Scooped up with a glove by Kemper. Hangs on and gets the whistle.
Yeah, Lysell doesn't get an assist on that goal by Geekie, but he helps make that play, right? He stays on it. Forces the turnover. It ends up being Zaka that keeps it in right on the blue line. But LA anticipating that puck getting out of the zone. They're moving up the ice. They want to join the rush, and that leaves Geekie just wide open. But Lysell's second effort on that.
What did you think of his game last night? Only his second NHL game. I know a lot of people are hoping that he gets an extended look up here as Lysell blasts one here wide of the net.
I thought there were some good things, but you know it was quiet. But I did think that there were some good things.
Geekie will come through the neutral zone. Carries in across the line. Gives to Lysell. Shot blocked out of play.
Good speed through the neutral zone that drew that penalty in the first period, I believe it was. And yeah, I thought it went down a little easy. And I said that because, you know, if I'm going to criticize other teams for doing it, I got to criticize the Bruins when they do it. But it definitely, the stick was in on him. And he drew the penalty because he had the good speed coming through the middle.
The face-off in the offensive zone here for Lindholm. Lettieri helps it back to the point. Jokiharju will wrap it around toward the near side. Koepke racing over to get there first. Puck came out of the corner right to the side of the net. Kemper up against the post.
He had to stay in the net that time. That was a strange bounce.
Zadorov throws one back in front. Lettieri was battling in there, and the puck hit him on the way. Ferrier will push it up the right wing side. Fiala into the Boston zone. Stops along the near wall. Try to feed it across ice. Zadorov picked that off. Then lost it. And here's Fiala. Near circle. Backing away from the net. Brings it back toward the blue line. Edmondson with a drive. Tipped by LaFerriere. And that's going to go over the end wall out of play.
See, that's a good read by Zadorov. He just got a little unlucky. I mean, he read that perfectly. He picks off the play. And then the puck hits a skate and it stays in the zone.
We've got 13:44 left here in the second. 2-2 our score in Los Angeles on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network. Driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
Trip Planner by Expedia. You were made to have strong opinions about sand. We were made to help you and your friends find a place on the beach with a pool and a marina and a waterfall and a soaking tub. Expedia. Made to travel.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Nia.
Hi, Nia. It's Jennifer. Did you know that Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, I work here.
Okay. I was just double checking. Get it?
Because Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, you get me, Nia.
You could say that I double get you.
I guess we've taken it too far.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Celtics play here at the Sports Hub.
Calling all youth hockey players, the 16th annual Boston Bruins and Pro Ambitions Hockey Summer Camp presented by Rapid 7 is back. Youth hockey players can elevate their skills during the offseason in a fun-filled environment. Space is limited, so visit bostonbruins.com/summercamp and register today. We've got 13:44 to go here in the second period. Bruins and LA are tied at 2. Kings on the attack here. Long shot by Anderson, turned aside by Swayman. Rebound is controlled by the Bruins as Lauko will bring out. Skating up the right side, he's able to chip it deep and go in after it. Came behind the net to Beecher, reversed it back around far side, skip past Brown. Wotherspoon will backhand it down low again. Beecher at the back of the net. On his backhand, trying to cut back, but Kopitar cut him off. And Kuzmenko will bring the Kings forward. Angled up the right side. Callahan's got it back for the Bruins. Brown will feather one into the LA zone. Bruins will initiate a change. Here's Kempe near the red line. Finding Kopitar cutting up ice across the Boston line. Dropped it off, and Kuzmenko's shot grabbed by Swayman. No rebound.
Off the change that time with some speed entering the zone. That time they had some speed coming in the offensive end. All right, Ryan, so I heard this the other day on, it was Elliot Friedman's podcast. But it's not exactly the same question that he was answering, but top 3 defensemen in history, power play goals.
Oh.
And I know, I don't expect you to get it. I wouldn't have gotten it if I didn't look it up. But
there's a shot towards Swayman that gets knocked down in front.
The only reason I bring it up is because 2 of them have ties to these 2 teams.
Is one of them on the ice right now or today?
All time.
Oh, all time. Gotcha. Puck will come around toward the near corner, and Lorai will play it up ice. Middlestat tipped into the attack zone by Lindholm, but thrown right back out. Lewis couldn't settle it. Lorai over to Peak. And back to the near side for Middlestat. Angled around Svensson into the LA zone. Kings with control, though, and it's volleyed over everybody's head, and then it'll go for another icing.
So you got Ray Bourque, number one.
Right.
Okay. 173 goals for Ray Bourque all time on the power play.
Just on the power play.
Yeah. Third all time is the general manager of the LA Kings.
Oh, Rob Blake.
Rob Blake. And then number two is a guy that came up in your trivia question to me the other day.
Who was that? Trying to remember.
Yeah. You had defensemen with 100-point seasons. He was one of them.
Oh, Paul Coffey?
No.
Or was no?
No. Surprising enough, he's actually number 4.
Okay.
Number 2 all time is Al McGinnis. So you got Bourque, McGinnis. McGinnis had 166, Bourque 173, and Rob Blake with 136.
Pavel Zacha is going to send one into neutral ice. Angle back towards Zacha. Inside the Boston zone here. 8.5 gone by second period. Bruins trailed 2-1 after one, have tied it up. Geeky's goal, his 25th of the season. Boston's going to get whistled down for an icing here.
Oh, they are calling icing there. They did not give the benefit of the doubt at all.
It was close.
There. Seriously?
Joe Sakic.
Are you kidding me? He was right at the red line.
I wish there was more consistency with that, because it seems like a lot of times you get away with being about a stride shy of the red line. And
Joe's talking to the referee, though. The referee doesn't call that, so he's saying, tell this guy to wake up.
Talk to your guy over there. Off the face-off, here's Anderson with a drive. Save made by Swayman, rebound, score! And it'll cost the Bruins a goal as Doughty hammers home the rebound.
So offensive zone faceoffs mean so much, and that's why, get coaches here. Joe Sacco's just losing it right now because of the icing call. It's right at the red line.
Guys get away with that all the time.
All the time. All the time. If anything's just a hair behind it, but by the time he follows through, Yoki Harder's right at the red line. They come back down, they get the face-off, the initial shot is stopped by Swayman, the rebound comes out into the right wing circle, and Doughty gets the goal on the rebound chance.
His third goal of the season as the Bruins go right back in on the attack. Koepke shot just wide. Puck came back out in front, but Kings push it into the corner. Koepke will rattle it around the far boards to Wotherspoon. Past Lettieri and in behind the net. Koepke get held away from it. Chasing it toward the near boards. Plays it around Doughty. Into the left wing corner. And we get a penalty coming up as Anderson's going to go for tripping. Lettieri going down on the play. So the Bruins will go to the power play here with 10:46 to go in the second, down by a goal.
I wonder if that's the same referee that was Joe Sacco was wearing out, but
maybe a little skate-to-skate contact in there, but so Bruins power play chance here and a chance to tie it up and answer back on that goal. And the first penalty of the game almost midway through here as Lindholm reaching out just gets a piece of a pass from Lohrei. Bruins were able to keep it alive. Middlestat gets it back to Lohrei at the left point. Lohrei stepping toward the high slot, put a shot just wide. And it'll get fired back out to the blue line, and Lohrei gloves it down, but forced back into the neutral zone. Pastrnak trying to reload. It's Middlestat right down the middle. He takes a shot. Blocker stopped by Kemper. Off the near wall, Lohrei. Over to Pastrnak. Long pass down low for Middlestat off the end board. And then his pass back to Pastrnak doesn't connect, and all the way back down it goes towards Swayman.
That second shot, or the shot by Middlestat, second one this period, they've been really kept away from the front of the net since the midway point of the first.
Minute 13 to go in the man advantage. Middlestat just inside the LA line. Nearly lost it. Gets it over to Lohrei instead. Right circle. Geeky right across on the back door was Lindholm. Couldn't get a stick on it.
The other shot this period, of course, was the goal by Geeky.
Kempe will clear it here for L.A. Bruins will make some changes on the power play unit here with 50 to go in the man advantage. Lohrei to Pasternak, coming out across his own blue line, leaves it in the neutral ice, picked up by Lohrei, skates it ahead. Pasternak rips it across ice for Middlestat, down into the left wing circle. Middlestat gets it back from Lettieri, fights through Kempe. Zacha down low to Middlestat, looking in front. Lettieri, 2 whacks at it. Kemper came up big. Now far circle, Pasternak a shot, and Kemper able to hold that between his pads.
Yeah, some good pressure by the Bruins. You know, Lettieri had 2 whacks at that, and Pasternak ends up with the puck on his stick in the right wing circle, and Kemper gets all the way across, pushes off, out past the top of the blue paint to take away an angle there on Pasternak and make this save. Like Pasternak was trying to go 5-hole possibly, or just under the glove. And by the time he was able to get that shot away, Kemper's is pushing right out.
Pasternak held without a point yesterday for only the 3rd time in the last 27 games. The Bruins have to chase one all the way back to their own zone. 10 to go in the power play as they break out. Jokiharju going to bring it to center ice, and from the circle dumps it around Kemper, who waved at it, couldn't stop it. Bicel from the near circle, back center blue line. Jokiharju steps into a shot. Ricochets wide. Lettieri takes a hit from Anderson, who was coming out of the penalty box, and Vogel going to move the Kings up ice. Quick check by Jokiharju. Puck sent across the ice, and skating hard down the left wing circle, Fiala. Up against Zadorov in the far corner. Puck hit the referee. Zadorov able to hold Fiala away from it. Lettieri in the far corner will bring it back to his forehand and has some open ice in front of him. Skates it all the way up to the red line, and now will chip it deep as Boston goes for a change with 8:08 to go here in the second. 3-2, Los Angeles leads it. Left wing side, Fiala pursuing into the far corner against Wotherspoon. To his side, puck in the skates in that far corner. The Ferrier, and now ripped around near side by Fiala. Doughty down to the hash marks. Right around behind the net. The Ferrier pushed it back to Anderson at the left point. Back in deep it comes. Fiala looking in front, but nobody home, and it'll come all the way back down to LA territory. Kemper going to fire one to the attacking blue line here with Ferrier. Cross ice pass and a one-timer by Fiala wide to the short side. Lauko clears for the Bruins. Things from the red line trying to come right back in. The turnover, Callahan. Wotherspoon far side. Lauko redirects it deep, and Boston will again change. Grant Clark from behind the net. Gave it up and got it right back from Doughty. Up the near side. Tap forward here. And it's going to be an icing call.
Yeah, even though Jeannot's going to get there first. That's what he's saying. He's laughing right now.
Well, linesman
puck was being wrapped around. Jeannot would have gotten there first, and we've seen that, you know, the discretion.
Linesman the Bruins one or several.
Yeah, well.
Face off in the offensive zone after the icing here for Middlestat. Hold it back toward the slot, and we get a whistle as Kusnedinov gets into it a little bit with Clark. Kusnedinov barking at Jeannot now as well.
I like his chances better with Clark.
6:58 to go.
Yeah,
here
might
in the
want to
second.
turn down the mics down there.
That's late night back in the East.
Somebody wasn't happy with Jeannot.
Off the draw, puck will get lobbed into the neutral ice. Glove down by Pete. He gets pasted along the near boards by Jeannot.
He might have been the guy giving it to Jeannot there before. So.
That comes in front of the Bruins bench, and Helenius gets dumped by Kusnedinov. And
Helenius is 6'6". Kusnedinov's tiny.
Listed at 5'11", 176. Things getting a little crispy out there with 6:41 to go in the second period. The icing call here against L.A., so face-off in the defensive zone for them. Jeannot having some words with some Bruins over on the bench before he comes back to line up for the face-off. It'll be Hellenius against Middlestat on this draw. Face-off far circle down to our left. Middlestat pulls it on his forehand back over toward Peak, but it'll be the Kings who get it just out across the blue line. Play back across the ice. Pasternak couldn't play it. Would have been offside. Doughty angles a pass up the right side. Here's Hellenius against Laura. They battle their way into the near corner. Laura ends up with the puck on his stick. Up the near wall it comes, but Edmondson pinching in. Plays it to Jeannot behind the Bruins net. And then Peak gets up high on Jeannot.
Jeannot's going to go back at him.
And Jeannot gives him a couple of cross checks. Husnadinov can't get it cleared. Here's a chance right down the middle for Turcotte, and a blocker saved by Swayman.
Jeannot's one of the tougher guys in the league. He went back at Peak. He didn't like it.
Middlestat finds Pasternak up the right side. Looking in front for Middlestat. And that one knocked aside by Gavrikov. And now we got a shoving match in front of the net as Husnadinov had his helmet knocked off.
Husnadinov got knocked into Kemper. Kemper took exception, grabbed him. Then the helmet got ripped off. Jeremy Swayman's at center ice challenging Kemper right now.
Kemper's going to skate out to meet him. And there they go. They're going to drop the gloves if the referee will let them. Referee's grabbing Swayman. Weisman's grabbing a hold of Kemper. Crowd is irate.
Why?
They both wanted it.
Why? You got everybody in this building standing on their feet right now.
Unbelievable. Kemper was involved in that little scrum. Swayman came to center ice, threw down the challenge. Kemper calmly skated to center ice to meet him. They took their gloves and masks off, and the officials jumped in before they even touched each other.
Everybody in this arena standing.
Who outside of the league office doesn't want to see that?
The league office doesn't mind seeing it either.
Well, then why are their officials stopping it?
Watch highlights.
Unreal. We'll step aside. 5:47 to go in the second. Kings have a 3-2 lead here on the 98.5, the Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
Sasha hated sand, the way it stuck to things for weeks. So when Maddie shared a surf trip on Expedia Trip Planner, he hesitated. Then he added a hotel with a cliffside pool to the plan, and they both spent the week in the water. You were made to follow your whims. We were made to help find a place on the beach with a pool and a waterfall and a soaking tub and, of course, a great shower. Expedia, made to travel.
You can shop during this ad by saying, "Alexa, add to cart." You are bountiful. Nature's Bounty hair, skin, and nails fruit pectin gummies with collagen and biotin, plus antioxidant CNE, help you shine from the inside out. To add Nature's Bounty hair, skin, and nails gummies with collagen and biotin to your cart, just say, "Alexa, add to cart." That's Alexa, add to cart.
Blink and get more. More what, you ask? More value with smart home security at an even smarter price. More simplicity with easy install. More convenience with up to 2 years of battery life. And more connection so you can check in from anywhere. Hi, Boomer. Who's a good boy? The best part? With Blink Smart Home Security, you'll get all this without spending more. So blink and get more. To learn more, visit Amazon.com/blink.
Listen live. Check out our podcast with the 98.5 The Sports Hub app.
5:47 to go here in the second period. LA leads at 3-2. Tempers are flaring.
The LA ice crew just realized that they need to clean the ice during the commercial timeout. They just came out.
They literally just came out of the tunnel. So we have a few seconds to figure out all the penalties here. All right, so each goaltender gets 2 minutes for leaving the crease and meeting at center ice, despite the fact that they never made contact with each other. Kemper is going to take 2 minutes for roughing, for knocking Husnadinov's helmet off in that first scrum. And then Husnadinov was also whistled for roughing or for interference as he made contact with Kemper. And so all that's going to even out with 2 minors per side.
Yeah, both teams meeting at the red line in between the benches during that commercial timeout. Long conversation. A lot of it was Zadorov and Jeannot. I couldn't tell whether Husnadinov got pushed into Kemper. He's trying to hustle to the net. He's trying to get there. So he's going full speed. I thought he had a little help being pushed into him by Jeannot on the back check and pushed him a little off balance. There really isn't much there, but I think in order to even everything out, they gave Kemper an extra 2 and Husnadinov an extra 2.
And then after the contact, Kemper just reaches out and grabs Husnadinov around the neck.
He was involved, earlier in the shift as well. Swayman came out to center ice and said, put the stick up and said, let's go. Gloves were off and ready to go.
Referee Graham Skilleter would not let
And one of the linesmen.
Yep, the linesman came out to get Kemper while Skilleter grabbed a hold of Swayman. But both guys had their gear off, took the masks off, and we're ready to go. Kemper.
Everybody on the bench wants it to happen.
Yeah.
Everybody in the building wants it to happen. You get 2 willing guys.
Yeah.
It's not somebody getting jumped.
Right. So
tempers flare. Let them settle it.
Well, and now we'll see what happens going forward, because sometimes when you let something like that go, it releases the pressure valve.
Well, it's certainly got the temperature up.
Right. Here's Zacha handing it off toward the right side for Geekie. Kicked it into the right corner. Going behind the net for Lysell. Got sealed off of it. Buck will get angled back into the neutral zone. And we're going to whistle and a hand pass here against L.A.
Man, hockey season's the perfect time to replace your old boiler with a new Peerless boiler. Don't wait until you have no heat. Go to peerlessboilers.com for a dealer near you. And remember, Peerless Boilers, the world's best built boilers.
And that initial scrum broke out. Zadorov wanted in there badly.
Well, he's the guy that
the linesman grabbed him to keep him away from it.
He's a guy that will match up with Jeannot. Jeannot's, when you look at experience dropping the gloves and size, and that would have to be Zadorov jumping in there. Well, you'd want him to. Let's put it that way.
As you said, during the timeout, during our break, there was, the 2 of them had a long conversation between the benches, as now we get another icing here against L.A. 5 minutes even to go here in the second. Kings with a 3-2 lead.
I don't think L.A. was too happy with that icing call. No, they're talking to the linesman on the way back up the ice.
That's a couple that they've disagreed with here in the past few minutes.
Everything was fine for a little while. Now all of a sudden, all it takes is 1 or 2 question marks, and now you get one bench fired up, the other bench fired up. The players start to get a little, like I said, temperature gets turned up, and it really didn't have to happen.
Now face off here in the attack zone for Lindholm. Dano beats him on the draw. They come around the near side. Lohrei at the blue line, able to keep it in, but now lifted over his head and out by Doughty. Pushed forward by Fogle. Peak will come back into the near corner. Trying to settle a rolling puck. Gets pushed up against the boards by Lewis. Fogle got it back to Doughty at the point. Over to Anderson far side. His shot right through the blue paint. And then Swayman got contacted by Fogle.
Yeah, I think Swayman came out. Fogle was trying to go behind him.
Dano to the right circle. Lewis' shot got blocked. On the near wall. Lewis able to rip it around the net. Into the far circle. Doughty played back in behind. Fogle from the right corner. Threw one out through the top of the crease. Off the far wall, Lewis. That's a hit from Peak. Around the near boards it comes to Clark. down toward the corner. He'll bring it back toward the hash marks, and a pass across the ice picked off by Pasternak. Then he lost it, and Fiala couldn't handle it, and Pasternak will drag it up through the neutral zone. Brings it across the line. Nice stick handle around. Clark goes right to the net. Kemper held the near post. Ferrier from the near circle throws a long pass up ice. Fiala inside the Boston zone, lost it over to Wotherspoon. And Geekie brings the Bruins back through neutral, but his pass is taken away. 3:38 to go here in the second period. Clark for Los Angeles. Ferrier had it knocked off his stick by Lysell, who moving toward the slot. Couldn't get it for a shot.
Take that shot. You're moving right down the slot that time. He's looking to defer and make the pass over to Zacha.
Byfield for LaFerriere, who was right on the doorstep. Back come the Bruins. Geekie just inside the zone. Gives to Lysell, cutting around the net. Tried to stuff it in near post, and Kemper was there. Jokiharju faked a shot, steps into the far corner. Got through Gavrikov. Brought it around for Zadorov. He walks it to the center of the blue line. And now on to the right side. LaFerriere chasing him all the way into the corner. Zadorov brings it back to the top of the face-off circle. Still stick handling. Over to Jokiharju with a one-timer. That one blocked by Spence, and the puck kicked out of the zone. Kings trying to hustle a change on here as Zadorov brings back ahead. Lauko on the left wing circle stops. Wheels it deep. Gavrikov knocking down Brown to a knee. And the Kings will get it cleared. Thrown all the way up ice. Kempe behind the defense. He'll beat an icing. Sends it off to the right circle, and they score. Kuzmenko able to get it past Swayman, and LA makes it a 4-2 game.
Well executed play in terms of an intelligent dump up and over top of everybody. Kempe's got the speed going down the left wing side. He's going to be the guy that gets there first. He's going to take the puck around the net, and he finds Kuzmenko in that right wing circle before the Bruins can recover and get themselves back. Swayman guarding against the wraparound where Kempe had an opportunity to do it earlier in the game. So he's taken away. He's deep in the net, taking away the short side post, and Kuzmenko ends up getting this pass from Kempe and finishing it off.
Second goal in 9 games since he came over in the trade from Philadelphia. It was the second time he had been traded this year. Started the year with Calgary. And now he's got the puck along the far circle of the Bruins zone. Pressured by Peak, forced him in behind the net. Kempe back toward that far corner. Kuzmenko takes his shoulder along the far wall. And Pasternak able to pop it free, but Kempe's got it back. Kuzmenko pivots out of the corner to Anderson at the point. His shot goes wide. Off the near wall, and Middlestat will bring through neutral ice. Skates it just across the LA line. Free puck to Pasternak. Pasternak moves toward the high slot. Backhands over to Middlestat. Back to Pasternak. Point blank, and the save by Kemper. Vogel in the far corner. Had it taken away again by Middlestat. Minute 28 to go here in the period. Around to the near circle. Zacha try to get it back deep for Pasternak. That one knocked free. Bruins regain in the neutral ice. Callahan dumps it in. And all the way around the far wall it goes. Skipped away from Lettieri. Bob back across the ice. Vogel trying to get it past Callahan. Can't at the Boston blue line. Now Gavrikov struggling to find the handle in the LA zone, but the Kings will get it cleared. And Vogel bringing back toward the Boston blue line. His pass redirected. Wotherspoon to Callahan. Zacha brings it into the middle here for Geekie. Through the center ice circle. Dumps it in. Kemper couldn't slow it up behind the net. Gavrikov from the near circle. Reverse back around to Edmondson, who plays it up ice. In the neutral zone, LaFerriere. Deno across the Boston line. Geekie makes the defensive play there. Deflected pass gets to Lettieri on the left wing side with 25 seconds to go. In the far corner, Deno turns and just fires it out of the zone. Bouncing, rolling puck will go just wide of Swayman, and that's an icing with 15.3 to go in the period.
Now Swayman just holding his ground there, waiting to see if that puck was going to make it all the way down. Barely did. It's a well-executed play by the Kings, but It's a tough one to give up by the Bruins, right? You're battling here. This game's 3-2. You had an icing call go against you, and you didn't defend it well after the face-off win. Chance to get out of this period just down a goal.
Lindholm going to take this face-off in the offensive zone, giving Jokiharju a little point to see where he wants them to line up. Lindholm won that, but they whistle it down, so I'm going to have to do it again. Reset the clock to 15.3. Lindholm wins it cleanly. Pasternak's shot blocked by Edmondson, but cleared out. Fiala was looking to go the other way. That taken away, and Zadorovs, he tried to get it back in deep, sent it into the Bruins bench instead.
Yeah, so that was set up perfectly. I mean, Lindholm won 2 faceoffs there. Only 1 counted, but he told Pasternak exactly where he wanted him, but that's a nice block by Edmondson getting out on that play. Now you got to rotate back because they're looking to send Fiala as soon as that puck gets blocked.
So this face-off at center ice with 8.6 to go in the period. Byfield wins it. Things in their own zone with Gavrikov. Just sends it over to Edmondson, and they'll let the period expire. So a bit of a wild period. Bruins tied it early, but the Kings with back-to-back goals have a 4-2 lead, and some milling about.
That's just the referees making sure the goaltenders don't.
Had to cross paths on their way to their respective locker rooms, and officials making sure that nothing comes of that. Vinny Terry having some words with Mikey Anderson before they separate. So we'll be back to talk about the first 40 minutes. Bruins trail at 4-2 here in Los Angeles on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
You turned your dating app for pets into a business, which just turned over its first billion. You turned around the fortunes of a failing football club, politely turned down a Nobel Peace Prize, and turned up on Mars in your own reusable rocket. All while struggling to turn on the dishwasher. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover business development titles on Audible.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger. Because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
These days, work is in trouble. We've outsourced most of our manufacturing to other countries. And with that, we sent away good jobs and our capability to make things. American Giant is a clothing company that's pushing back against this tide. They make all kinds of high-quality clothing and activewear, like sweatshirts, jeans, dresses, jackets, and so much more, right here in the USA. So when you buy American Giant, you create jobs in towns and cities across the country. And jobs bring pride, purpose. They stitch people together. If all that sounds good to you, visit American-Giant.com and get 20% off your first order when you use code STAPLE20 at checkout. That's 20% off your first order at American-Giant.com with promo code STAPLE20.
Everybody's talking about inflation. At Ocean State Job Lot, we've been fighting inflation for 48 years. Spring hinged reading glasses at your favorite drugstore are $20. Buy them at Job Lot for $3. $20 sunglasses, $5. Designer sunglasses, $7. Looking for American-made disposable aluminum bakeware? Save 70%. If you're a gardener, you can purchase burpee flour and vegetable seed anywhere. At Ocean State Job Lot, we sell it at 40% off. We haven't even mentioned crazy deals where you can buy things for free.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger. Because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time to take an adventure with rugged capability and commanding style. Check out the Honda Ridgeline, Pilot, or CRV. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 3.99% APR on a 2025 Pilot, a 1.99% APR on a 2025 Ridgeline, or a 2.99% APR on a 2025 CRV.
See dealer for financing details.
The home of the Revs, the Sports Hub.
Steal by Zaka, gets it right in front to Geeky, scores! Kings were coming out of the zone, Zaka took it away, and Geeky ties the game at 2. Oregon Geeky's 25th of the year in that second period is our amazing play presented by Timberline Construction, providing truly exceptional service in construction management, pre-construction, design, build, and due diligence support. Learn more at timberlineconstruction.com. Timberline Construction, exceptional, no exceptions. Well, a 4-2 lead for the LA Kings after an eventful second period here at the Crypto.com arena. Back alongside Bob Beers, I'm Ryan Johnston. Very nearly saw the goaltenders come to blows at center ice. Officials wouldn't let that happen for some reason. Bruins had battled back to tie the game, but then LA, a couple of goals to grab the lead here at the second intermission.
Yeah, I mean, I think from the Bruins standpoint, defensively, a couple of lapses. Certainly from LA's standpoint, a couple of lapses defensively, but more so on the Bruins side of it. Here in this one, you know, the Kings can wear you down a little bit, and when they have that possession in the offensive end, they like to go to work. And you know, the extracurriculars aside, it's a game where you've got Geeky ties the game at 2, and you're in pretty good shape, and all of a sudden there's a highly questionable icing call, I thought. I mean, on Yoki Haru, he's right at the red line, or, I mean, a hair before it, and most times, almost every time, if you're anywhere near the red line, it's all good. And they did not give him the benefit of the doubt. Okay. Make sure it's like that all the time. But, you know, Joe Sacco not happy. They come back down. Now you don't execute defensively. LA wins the draw, gets the initial shot away. And it's Doughty on the rebound that's going to beat Jeremy Swayman. So now it's all of a sudden it's 3-2. Then you have all the extracurricular stuff going on. You know, Kemper and Swayman that, you know, possibly, you know, we're going to drop the gloves. Well, they tried to, but linesman and referee got in the way and made sure it didn't happen. But LA on a well-executed play. That's Spence Smart, really intelligent play. He sees Kempe going, and he's behind everybody. Throws the puck over top of everybody off that back wall. Kempe can get to it first. And now the Bruins, do they adjust and get back on time? You know, Swayman is deep in the net because he's probably thinking Kempe's going to try to wrap it around like he did earlier in the game, where Swayman made a really good save on him, but he doesn't. He just comes around the net, and he's going to find Kuzmenko in that right wing circle, and at that point he's deep, and nobody covers Kuzmenko either. So, you know, a couple of errors there made by the Bruins, and now you have a 2-goal deficit with a goal late in the second period. You have one late in the, you know, to give them the 2-goal lead.
Going back to the icing call, and you said it at the time, Joe Sacco was hot both before and after the goal because of that call. When you talk to coaches, you talk to players, and you know, when they talk about officiating, generally what they'll tell you is we just want to know what the standard is. We want it to be consistent. And we see that play, you know, how many times a night where a defenseman or whoever's carrying the puck might be a foot or two shy of the red line, dumps it in, and the official gives them the benefit of the doubt, and play continues. And that's where it gets frustrating.
The only thing there is I will say this, that LA was taking away the red line. You know, and if a team is doing that, you know, doing the right thing in your neutral zone defensively, and if I'm the defenseman carrying the puck up the ice, I don't quite get to the red line, then the team that sealed me off right before the red line should get rewarded. But we do see it called off more often than not when they're that close. And by the time he followed through on it, you can make an argument that he was there at the red line. You know, by the time that puck left his stick, it was at the red line. So very close call, and it was right in front of Joe Sacco. I mean, it's right in between the two benches, right in front of him. And everybody on the Bruins bench upset with that, and it came back to bite them.
It did, and that goal by Drew Doughty, his third of the year. Among the goal scorers in that second period, it was Geeky from Zaka, as Zaka took one away at the attacking blue line, fed it to Geeky wide open in front for his 25th of the year. Zaka gets the lone assist at 2:07, tied the game at 2. Then Drew Doughty's third of the year from Mikey Anderson and Quentin Byfield at 8:46 put the Kings up 3-2. And at 17:38, Andrei Kuzmenko's 8th of the season, set up by Adrian Kempe and Jordan Spence, puts the Kings up by a pair at the second intermission. Time now for our Music of the Game, brought to you by Live Nation. Don't miss Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Eric Clapton live at TD Garden on September 16th with special guest The Wallflowers. Get tickets now at livenation.com. We'll check the out-of-town scores from around the league coming up next on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
You turned your dating app for pets into a business, which just turned over its first billion. You turned around the fortunes of a failing football club, politely turned down a Nobel Peace Prize, and turned up on Mars in your own reusable rocket. All while struggling to turn on the dishwasher. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover business development titles on Audible.
This is the story of the one. As a quality technician in a food processing center, she knows that making the right call is the best way to avoid a recall. That's why she trusts Grainger's world-class supply chain to deliver the high-quality supplies she needs to help keep her production line, her equipment, and her customers happy and healthy. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time to take an adventure with rugged capability and commanding style. Check out the Honda Ridgeline, Pilot, or CR-V. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 3.99% APR on a 2025 Pilot, 1.99% APR on a 2025 Ridgeline, or a 2.99% APR on a 2025 CR-V.
See dealer for financing details.
Here in America, work is in trouble. We've offshored our manufacturing, sent away good jobs, and lost so much ability to make things. American Giant is a company that's pushing back against this tide. They make high-quality clothing, sweatshirts, jeans, dresses, jackets, and so much more, right here in the USA. Visit American-Giant.com and get 20% off your first order when you use code STAPLE20 at checkout. That's 20% off your first order at American-Giant.com, promo code STAPLE20.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now, and the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The only place to hear the game, the Sports Hub.
Second intermission here at Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles. Los Angeles Kings leading the Bruins by the score of 4-2. We take a look at our out-of-town scoreboard. Chicago Blackhawks 7-4 winners over the Philadelphia Flyers. Buffalo takes down Winnipeg 5-3. Red hot St. Louis Blues stay hot 4-1 over Nashville. Florida Panthers a come from behind victory in a shootout over the Penguins 4-3 the final there. Vegas takes down the Tampa Bay Lightning 4-2. And Carolina bouncing back after a loss yesterday against the Kings. They defeat Anaheim. Final there was 5-2. Here in Los Angeles, the Kings lead the Bruins 4-2 after 2 periods of play. Third period action next on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
WIC is a supplemental nutrition program that plays a crucial role in improving the health and well-being of children by providing families access to healthy foods, nutritional education, and other essential support services. WIC programs help improve the long-term health outcomes of mothers and children by ensuring all eligible families, regardless of immigration status, have access to cost-free nutrition resources they need to thrive. If you or someone you know could benefit from WIC, visit health.ri.gov/WIC or reach out to your local WIC office to learn more about eligibility and how to apply.
Plus tax, tag, license, $400 doc fee, and first payment with approved credit. 36-month leases, $54.99 due at signing, 0 security, 7,500 miles, ends 3/31/25.
More inventory means bigger savings. Go to Greco, go to Greco. There's more to move with over 250 new Toyotas at Greco Toyota. Like a new 2024 Toyota BZ4X XLE all-wheel drive, $99 a month, $99 a month. Or move in on a new 2025 Toyota Corolla Cross L all-wheel drive, $199 a month, $199 a month. Plus, trade in your current vehicle and get paid top dollar to use as a down payment. Greco Toyota has more inventory and more savings while they last. A Toyota BZ4X, $99 a month, or Corolla Cross, $199 a month. So make your move on a new Toyota with a low payment at Greco Toyota. Minutes from anywhere on Route 44 in East Providence, or shop online at GrecoToyota.com.
Will exceed your expectations. We guarantee it.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time to take an adventure with rugged capability and commanding style. Check out the Honda Ridgeline, Pilot, or CR-V. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 3.99% APR on a 2025 Pilot, 1.99% APR on a 2025 Ridgeline, or a 2.99% APR on a 2025 CR-V.
See dealer for financing details.
This is the story of the one. As a quality technician in a food processing center, she knows that making the right call is the best way to avoid a recall. That's why she trusts Grainger's world-class supply chain to deliver the high-quality supplies she needs to help keep her production line, her equipment, and her customers happy and healthy. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
These days, work is in trouble. We've outsourced most of our manufacturing to other countries. And with that, we sent away good jobs and our capability to make things. American Giant is a clothing company that's pushing back against this tide. They make all kinds of high-quality clothing and activewear, like sweatshirts, jeans, dresses, jackets, and so much more, right here in the USA. So when you buy American Giant, you create jobs in towns and cities across the country. And jobs bring pride, purpose. They stitch people together. If all that sounds good to you, visit American-Giant.com and get 20% off your first order when you use code STAPLE20 at checkout. That's 20% off your first order at American-Giant.com with promo code STAPLE20.
Is your relationship with your bank in a rut? Might be time for someone new. At Navigant Credit Union, we offer better rates, fewer fees, and support that puts you first. Don't put it off. Join Navigant Credit Union today. Federally insured by NCUA.
Gain Super Flings are here to take your laundry to the next level.
Talking about Gain Super Flings. Super-sized laundry packs. These things are huge. Super fresh, super clean. Gain Super Flings.
Gain Super Flings laundry packs have 4 times the Oxy cleaning power and 3 times the Febreze freshness versus Gain Original Liquid.
Super fresh, super clean. Gain Super Flings.
Gain Super Flings for next level laundry.
Felger and Maz, afternoons 2 to 6 on the Sports Hub.
Before we get to the third period, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification across the 98.5, the Sports Hub, Bruins Radio Network.
From the Town Fair Tire Studios, this is Boston's home for sports. WBZ-FM at HD Boston, 98.5, the Sports Hub. Road station. This is a black and gold flashback.
Nash feeds to the high slot. Pasternak, Ristery scores! David Pasternak threw one inside the far post. It was Brad Marchand creating the screen. The Bruins are within one, trailing 2-1 here in Dallas. And here with a little speed, 2-on-1 is Marchand over the line left side. Center Schaller walks in, shoots, he scores! A shorty, and the Bruins have tied it at 2. 19 seconds left. Patterson trying to get it out. Can't. The Bruins get it free. Slapped out in front. They score! David Pasternak reached out to his right and shoveled it by a fallen Lettinen to make it 3-2 Bruins with 11 seconds left.
Our black and gold flashback tonight taking us back to this date in 2018 as the Bruins came from 2 goals down with 3 unanswered in the third period to beat the Dallas Stars 3-2 on the road. Brad Marchand factoring in all 3 goals a goal and 2 assists on that night. David Pastrnak with the game winner, as you heard there, with just over 11 seconds to play as the Bruins picked up the victory. Bruins are 2 goals down here tonight. 4-2 the score as we go to the third period. Kings outscoring the Bruins 2-1 in that second period. Outshot the Bruins 8-7. 2 period totals are 16-12. And Boston's had the only power play of this game so far. That power play brought to you by Bosch Power Tools, engineered for efficiency, comfort, and ease. Bosch Power Tools are built to keep workers going at full strength. Bosch Power Tools, what hard workers deserve. So we start the third period. Bruins will go from left to right. Puck gets dumped in. Peak wrapped it up the near boards with Terry trying to get it out. Blocked by Kopitar. Sent it across. Dragged in behind the net by Kempe. Moves it toward the near side, and Edmondson whistles one across. They get it to Kopitar again. Back across the ice. Edmondson fired a slot pass toward Kuzmenko. Redirected it wide. Kuzmenko at the back of the net here for L.A. Back to Edmondson. This shot goes on goal, and the glove saved by Swayman.
Yeah, up to the Bruins to find this here in the third period. LA's, based on that shift, they're not going to sit back, right? They don't want to sit back and protect the lead. They want to continue to attack and extend it. Start off their top line to begin the third period. And that line's been effective all night, except for the first goal.
Right.
The Bruins.
Yeah, they were starting unit out there when Elias Lindholm scored just 19 seconds into the first period.
Yeah, hard to question much about what Kopitar does because he's so efficient, so good.
There's Byfield moving his way to the right circle. That angled wide of the net. Leverrier trying to get it back in front.
I got to think that Lindholm goal, and the way Edmondson reacted, that he was already over there, and then Kopitar kept coming, and I think he doesn't miss many assignments, but it was partially on him.
Here's Lauko with a steal in the LA zone. Just missed the net with a shot from a wide angle. Los Angeles has not lost in regulation this year when they've led after 2. They are 26-0-2 in that department. First time for everything.
Well, that's 0-2.
Right. Okay. Have lost twice. Yeah. They got points in both of those games. Callahan sends it in behind the Bruins net. Came back out in front. Lewis trying to get off a shot. Off the near boards, and Husnadinov will push it out of the zone, but LA's got it back. Doughty's pass redirected out of the air by Pastrnak. Wotherspoon to Callahan. Back across the ice, Casey Middlestep. He goes back across to the far side. Callahan will skate it in across the LA line. Around the boards it comes. Pastrnak reversed it back toward the corner. Deneau kept it moving. Doughty will take it from there. And angle a pass through neutral ice to no one in particular. That's an icing.
Pass to the linesman. And hockey season's the perfect time to replace your old boiler with a new Peerless boiler. Don't wait until you have no heat. Go to peerlessboilers.com for a dealer near you. And remember, Peerless Boilers, the world's best built boilers.
2:02 gone here in the third period. Face off to the right of Darcy Kemper, down to our right. Pulled toward the far corner, Anderson to Doughty. And they'll get it out of the zone as Peak and Lewis came together at the blue line. Zaka off the near wall finds Fabian Lysell. Deep it goes. Geekie giving chase. Anderson got to it first. Into the middle. It's Kempe bringing through neutral ice. Cutting to the right wing side with speed. Trying to get around Lorai. Get a stick on the puck. Angled in behind the net by Kuzmenko. But out of Kempe's reach. Lysell trying to bring it ahead into the LA zone. Got back checked off it. Edmondson will deal it for Kuzmenko. Fires a pass to Kempe, trying to spring Kopitar between the defenders.
Pretty close to offside there.
Yeah. Geekie, look at it from Kuzmenko, got it over to Zadorov. Circle through the Bruins zone. LA getting changes on. Zadorov gaining steam through neutral ice, cuts to the left wing side. Centering pass, looking for Lettieri, but got spun off it by Edmondson. In the neutral ice, Hellenius lost it. Lettieri dumps it in. Kemper stops it behind the LA net. Lindholm in the near corner, helping Lettieri. Now two aside, they battle. Up still along the wall. It'll come free back to Wotherspoon at the right point. Winds and fires. Kick saved by Kemper, and the rebound was there for a moment.
That's a shot with a purpose right there. Low, hard, looking for a tip. Didn't get it, but it goes off the pad, and you get a rebound because of it.
Will feather one back into the Boston zone. Callahan trying to hold him up as they wrestle their way into the far corner. Wotherspoon's got it near circle. Starting the Bruins up ice as they're moving from left to right here in the third. Brown just inside the line. Wotherspoon down toward the corner. Couldn't catch up with it. And now LaFerriere trying to come back the other way. His pass for Fiala was broken up. But here's Byfield shooting and scoring. Quentin Byfield from the inside of the left circle makes it 5-2 LA.
Byfield's had the hot hand here recently, and he's not even looking past. It's a 2-on-1 that forms in the neutral zone. LA quick up. Move this puck into the middle with a good pass, and you get Bruins stepping up in that neutral zone. It's kind of a partial 2-on-1, not a clean one, but as Peake's trying to come over and get a piece of Byfield, Byfield's on this left wing side, and he's going to rip it short side high on Jeremy Swayman.
You mentioned he has had the hot hand. That is his 8th goal in the last 10 games, his 19th of the season.
And look, it's a rush for LA. And this game is not entirely on Swayman, but there's been too many of those goals right there. Over the blocker.
Anderson will send for Fogle, but miss him, and LA is going to get whistled for an icing if they don't get there in time, and LaFerriere able to win the race against Jokiharju. LaFerriere out of the left corner, pass picked off by Pasternak. He will bring it through the neutral zone and across the LA line, and batted off his stick by Fogle. Fogle able to clear it around Zadorov. It'll come in on goal, so Swayman forced to play it off to the near circle for Jokiharju. His clearing effort stolen by LaFerriere. Byfield from the corner, centering pass. Zacha was there, and Geekie will bring it out. Up the left side finds Lysell with speed. Left circle shot just wide on the glove side.
That turnover there by Jokiharju. He's had a little bit of a rough night here tonight.
Here's Lysell from the top of the right circle. Tried to get it in front, but that one blocked. Comes back toward Wotherspoon at the right point. Jokiharju a -3 on the evening. Lysell backhanded to Zacha. Geekie one-timer got blocked. Came right back to him. He was on his backhand. Sent it over to Callahan instead. And now Lysell on the far boards. Forced out toward the blue line, but chips it past Gavrikov. Back into the far corner. Geekie around the wall for Wotherspoon. Walks it along the blue line. Gives to Callahan. Left circle. Stepping in. Just missed it wide. And it ricochets out of the corner and all the way out. Kings will get some changes on. We got a penalty coming behind the play here as Geekie got tangled up against Brant Clark, I believe it was. Geekie's going to go to the box. So with 13:53 left here in the third period, LA with a 5-2 lead. And we'll step aside here on the 98.5, the Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
You turned your dating app for pets into a business, which just turned over its first billion. You turned around the fortunes of a failing football club, politely turned down a Nobel Peace Prize, and turned up on Mars in your own reusable rocket. All while struggling to turn on the dishwasher. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover business development titles on Audible.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger. Because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
These days, work is in trouble. We've outsourced most of our manufacturing to other countries. And with that, we sent away good jobs and our capability to make things. American Giant is a clothing company that's pushing back against this tide. They make all kinds of high-quality clothing and activewear, like sweatshirts, jeans, dresses, jackets, and so much more, right here in the USA. So when you buy American Giant, you create jobs in towns and cities across the country. And jobs bring pride, purpose. They stitch people together. If all that sounds good to you, visit American-Giant.com and get 20% off your first order when you use code STAPLE20 at checkout. That's 20% off your first order at American-Giant.com with promo code STAPLE20.
The home of the Bees, the Sports Hub.
13:53 to go here in the third period. LA with a 5-2 lead. Bruins have a couple of helpers tonight. And with those feeds, the Shaw's and Star Market Foundation donates another $200 to the Greater Boston Food Bank to help fight food insecurity. Learn more about Feeding the Puck for families at 985thesportshub.com/feedthepuck.
Yeah, this is one. Clark and Geekie are both going to the bench, so they kind of come shoulder to shoulder. Clark's kind of preventing Geekie from getting there. It's just it happens all the time. You know, you're going back to the bench on a line change as the play's going on down the ice, and Geekie just finally had enough and turned around and gave him a pretty good pop, and Clark went down and immediately looked at the referee. And it was a penalty. I'm just saying, you know.
Roughing minor down. Geekie. LA with its first power play of the game. As a turnover here at center ice, Pasternak has it.
Actually, oh yeah, so
they
call both.
They took them both.
They took them both.
Interesting. Okay.
So the interference they give, and then the roughing there from Geekie. Okay,
gotcha.
I was going to say, wait, Pasternak's killing a penalty?
Now Brant Clark. Yeah, I was confused as well. It is 4-on-4. Brant Clark in the box for Los Angeles. So scratch that. Borai sends it across ice. Here's Pasternak along the far wall. Pressured by Danault. Here's Peak into the far corner with a puck on his stick. Referee got to get out of the way. Officials have been in the way a lot this evening.
It's been one of those nights.
Edmondson up the left side finds Fogle all by himself in the neutral zone. Now Danault joins him, gets the pass on the left side. Deflected pass comes back to center ice.
They could have easily called too many men on the Bruins right there. Pasternak's going to the bench. You got a guy hopping out. Pasternak's not on the bench yet. And even though the guy doesn't play, I think it was Lindholm coming out, it alters what LA has to do. So you're involved in the play. I thought LA got away with it too many men in last period.
Byfield taking it toward the far boards, turned it over as Zadorov knocked it loose. Lysell going to bring the Bruins up ice, and they're going to say Lindholm couldn't hold the blue line just offside.
The way the rule reads is if you come on the ice, you don't always have to play the puck. It's if you get involved in the play. I might not have the exact wording, but basically that's what it is. And if LA has to alter their decision-making because you're already involved in the play and the guy's not off the ice yet, that's to me, that's too many men on the ice.
Face off just outside the LA line, won by Middlestat.
Wasn't really argued too much. It's a 5-2 game.
Right. 3-goal game, 12 minutes to go here. 8 seconds left on the 4-on-4. Husmandinov in the near corner, able to bat it around behind the net to the far circle. Callahan finds Middlestat in the far corner. Trying to get away from a check from Spence. Byfield helps it out of the zone. Gavrikov to the Boston blue line. Deflected shot goes wide. Gavrikov gets to it behind the Bruins net. Middlestat on the far wall. Penalty boxes are empty. Teams are at full strength. Sent back into the Boston zone. Kempe in there deep after it. Peak knocks it off his stick. Lettieri gets it to Peak in that far corner, and he'll reverse it back behind the net to Wotherspoon. Geekie will bring the Bruins up ice. Cuts to his right, gains the attacking blue line. Shot redirected, goes high up and out of play.
And WellPoint is proud to honor our hometown heroes all season long. This week they're honoring David Testa from the North Andover Fire Department. To nominate someone making a difference in your community, visit 985thesportshub.com/heroes today.
Reminder, we'll be with you on Wednesday night from Anaheim. Bruins and Ducks, 9:30 Eastern Time. Our pregame coverage will get underway. 10 o'clock face-off. Bruins will get to spend a couple more days here in Southern California before that one.
Rangers are already in town. They play the Kings on Tuesday night.
Not a bad place to spend an extra couple of days. Weather's been gorgeous. Edmondson sends over to Clark with a drive, knocked down by Swayman. Here's Jeannot standing left circle with a shot. Swayman sliding out to greet him.
I agree with you on the weather. I'm not a huge California fan. But the weather is pretty good.
I know the people back home don't want to hear that as a shot rings in off the pipe and in. And LA makes it 6-2. It's going to be Jeannot.
Yeah, he tips this in. It's just a wrist shot from the point. And Jeannot gets a piece of it on the way in. You know, no chance for Swayman on this one. It's just, I mean, work it low to high, win a couple of battles. D to D, get to the front of the net, get body position, and the tip by Jeannot. No chance for Swayman.
Well, yesterday, the LA Kings had all 12 of their forwards that they dressed had points.
They're trending that direction.
Well, Jeannot was one of the 3 forwards so far today that did not have a point. He just scored the goal. See about the rest of the scoring.
Well, it was D to D, so.
Right, okay.
It was, I think it was Edmondson to Clark.
Fedorov gets a piece of a pass near the Boston blue line. And Jokiharju will skate back to retrieve. This is the 12th time this year the Bruins have surrendered 6 goals in a game.
Yeah, I don't think they have a shot on goal this period.
Might have one.
One? Okay.
I think they started with, yeah, they have one shot so far. We're almost midway through the period. We get a whistle for an offside against LA.
His 7th of the season, scored by number 10, Tanner Jeannot.
There's been 3 shots total in the first almost 10 minutes of this one.
The assist to number 92, Brent Clark. And to number 6, Joel Edmondson.
It is, in fact, Clark and Edmondson with the assists on that goal.
920, that's Jeannot, his 7th from Clark and Edmondson.
7th of the season for Jeannot. 2 goals and an assist in his last 2 games after having gone 22 games without a point prior to yesterday. Callahan sends to Witherspoon coming behind the Bruins net. Off the near boards for Pastrnak near the red line. His pass got through to Middlestat. Down the left circle. Stops along the hash marks. Trying to get the pass toward the slot. Instead taken away, and Fiala will push it back into neutral ice. Up across the line they come. Fiala stick handling his way through the high slot. Pastrnak got a piece of the puck. Bruins can't get it cleared. Shot by Byfield, knocked down. Second effort. Pushed wide of the net by Fiala. Off the far wall. It'll come to Pastrnak. And out through the neutral zone. Into his skates near the blue line and chipped down into the right wing corner. Beecher goes to get it and goes behind the net and then gets shouldered off it by Spence. Loose puck on the far circle. Beecher reaching for it. Spence got to stick to it first. Kuzmenko pushed it out toward the red line. Boston trying to reload. Hand pass here as Beecher knocked one down out of the air and it came right to Brown. 8:49 left here in the third period. LA has blown it wide open. It's 6-2 on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
You can shop during this ad by saying, Alexa, add to cart. You are bountiful. Nature's Bounty hair, skin, and nails fruit pectin gummies with collagen and biotin, plus antioxidant CNE, help you shine from the inside out. To add Nature's Bounty hair, skin, and nails gummies with collagen and biotin to your cart, just say, Alexa, add to cart. That's Alexa, add to cart.
You turned your dating app for pets into a business, which just turned over its first billion. You turned around the fortunes of a failing football club, politely turned down a Nobel Peace Prize, and turned up on Mars in your own reusable rocket. all while struggling to turn on the dishwasher. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover business development titles on Audible.
Connect with Boston's home for sports online. 98.5thesportshub.com.
8:49 left. Bruins trailing 6-2. Fans, don't forget, Bruins are back on home ice after this long road trip against the Washington Capitals on April the 1st at TD Garden. Face off at 7 p.m. Bees will be celebrating Women in Sports Night presented by Rapid 7. Visit bostonbruins.com/tickets to purchase your seat today. That comes around the boards in the Bruins zone down to our left. Wotherspoon gets behind the net for Callahan. Trying to get it past the referee again. Kings able to keep it alive into the far corner. Kempe behind the net. Kuzmenko off for Kopitar. Left circle. Sent one through the slot. Kempe was wrestling with Callahan on that far post. Kuzmenko to Kopitar in behind the net. Kempe taps it back to him. Kopitar backhands a pass to Kempe at the left circle. Back to the far point man, Clark. Had to settle it down. Now Kopitar in the far corner. With a bump from Callahan. Puck sent out right in front of the net by Beecher. Bruins, again, can't get it cleared. Kopitar, high slot, trying to find the handle. And now it's shot out of the zone by Brown, but that's going to go for an icing.
Yeah, unfortunately for the Bruins, big mismatch on that line. I mean, yeah, Kopitar's line and the Bruins' fourth line. They win the draw. Kings do. That's the home ice, advantage with the last change. They didn't get anything to the net, but just puck control, force the icing. Now they've got fresh bodies out there. And you got a couple tired Bruins.
Elenius will take this face-off against Brown. Elenius and Turcotte, the lone Kings forwards who do not have a point. Elenius wins the draw. Anderson throws one to the net. Tipped by Jeannot. Saved by Swayman. Covers it up. Got the left pad on that redirected shot.
Yeah, that's another icing. That one legit.
Yeah.
And face-off win. Brown on the face-off. Elenius, that shot with a purpose again, from the left point. And Jeannot gets the tip on it. That's a pretty good save by Swayman, staying with it. Now the Bruins can get their line change.
Face off again to his right. It'll be Lindholm against Elenius this time. Now Jeannot will replace Elenius. Jeannot wins it back to Anderson. Shoots it down the boards all the way around to the far side. Jeannot hustles over there to get to it. Doughty from the blue line sends it all the way back around. Now Anderson to the left point. Threw one through the near circle, blocked by Lindholm. Down low, Turcotte, shouldered by Jokiharju. Sent behind the net, Zadorov in the far corner. Will lob it out into the neutral ice, and a bouncing puck back toward the LA blue line. Sent right back ahead from Anderson to Turcotte, but Terry put a bump on him. Turcotte gave him a little shot in return. And we got Koepke and Turcotte exchanging shots between the benches as both teams were getting some changes done. 7:05 to play. Zaka lifts one in wide of Kemper. He's got 11 saves on 13 Bruins shots with 6:52 to go. Mason Lohrei along the end boards along with Andrew Peak. Getting this puck tied up behind Jeremy Swayman. Still not moving. Official trying to tell him to get it moving. Stalemate here continues, and now it finally comes free toward the near corner to Zaka, who promptly sends it right back into the fray. Lohrai's got it pinned against the dasher now, and around the far side for Lysell. He lost it. Chance for the Kings. Shot blocked off the stick of Danault. Goes out of play.
And Bruins Hockey is brought to you by Timberline Construction, providing truly exceptional service in construction management, pre-construction, design, build, and due diligence support. Learn more at timberlineconstruction.com. Timberline Construction, exceptional, no exceptions.
6:16 left in this one. Face off to the left of Jeremy Swayman. Middlestat wins it from Byfield. Far corner, Wotherspoon lifts it out into neutral ice. Pasternak pursuing. Kings get it back to the Boston blue line. Middlestat chops it forward. As we play a game of ping pong here in the neutral ice, dumped in by Edmondson. Swayman behind the net, gave it to Wotherspoon in the near corner. Pasternak will bring through neutral ice. Pass to the right side. Middlestat trying to catch up with it. The Ferrier got there first. At the back of the net, they run into trouble, but back toward the near side. And an easy clear for Byfield. Fiala inside the Boston zone. Gets run off along the near boards. Wotherspoon will take the puck from behind the Bruins net. Usnadinov through the neutral. Left side for Pasternak, cutting toward the slot. Knocked away from it. Byfield will just lift it end over end back toward the Boston blue line. Zadorov to the red line and across the LA blue before he got hit by Gavrikov and separated from the puck. Kopitar will steer it back deep into Boston territory. Kempe gets in there after it. Sealed off by Kopitar, or by Jokiharju rather. On the near wall, it'll come free to Lauko. This pass toward the middle for Lindholm didn't connect. Gavrikov under pressure from Koepke. Koepke able to steal one inside the LA zone, turns and fires, but Gavrikov blocks that, and it goes up over the protective netting into the crowd behind Darcy Kemper. 4:45 to play. LA 6, Bruins 2 here on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
You can shop during this ad by saying, Alexa, add to cart. You are bountiful. Nature's Bounty hair, skin, and nails fruit pectin gummies with collagen and biotin plus antioxidant CNE help you shine from the inside out. To add Nature's Bounty hair, skin, and nails gummies with collagen and biotin to your cart, just say, Alexa, add to cart. That's Alexa, add to cart.
Hotels.com knows that planning your book club's annual trip can get chaotic. Self-Improvement Steve needs a hotel gym, and Horror Harriet ghosted the group chat about budget. Collaborate, vote on your favorites, and book all in the app. Find your perfect somewhere with Hotels.com.
You turned your dating app for pets into a business, which just turned over its first billion. You turned around the fortunes of a failing football club. Politely turned down a Nobel Peace Prize, and turned up on Mars in your own reusable rocket. All while struggling to turn on the dishwasher. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover business development titles on Audible.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Celtics play here at the Sports Hub.
4:45 left, 6-2 LA has the lead. Bruins in Anaheim Wednesday night. Ducks fell 5-2 tonight to Carolina. Hurricanes bouncing back after losing to the Kings yesterday 7-2. So they've won 9 of their last 10.
I was going to say, they had won 8 in a row before they ran into LA, right? I mean,
Rod Brindamore said before the game they had a little bit of a flu bug going through the room as well, but shook that off today.
Guess so.
Played out toward the blue line here.
A couple days in the sunshine, I guess we'll do that for you.
Did you happen to see the end of Sheldon Keefe's press conference yesterday?
I heard he ripped into one of his
Jonathan
players.
Kovacevic.
Kovacevic, yeah.
Kovacevic, in the postgame media scrum in the locker room, gave the typical answer saying we got to, have the playoff mentality here down the stretch and all that. And reporters asked Sheldon Keefe about that, and Keefe said something along the lines of, Kovacevic needs to play better. That would help. Yeah. And then walked out.
Well, and here's the rub on that is he's had a good year.
Right.
And they're decimated with injuries. They've got 2 key defensemen out. And they're without Hughes.
Loose puck inside the Boston zone. Jeannot moving down the slot. Got a shot. Turned aside by Swayman. Edmondson from the center of the blue line. Faked the shot. Deals it left side. Hellenius shoots and scores. That one slipped through the 5-hole of Swayman. And it's 7-2.
Yeah, there's bodies flying all over the place, but this one just is going to go underneath. You know, it's pressure by the Kings. A really good chance by Jeannot initially, and then they rotate it back over into this left wing circle. And, I mean, Swayman's looking at the referee, but there's nothing there. Jeannot and was it Peak that kind of collided and went down. It's unfortunately for the Bruins, this is I mean, reality is seriously set in.
Hung with LA for a while and
for a while.
Yeah, and then it just gets out of hand. Second goal for the rookie Samuel Hellenius.
Second time the Kings have scored 7 in consecutive days here.
Yeah, in just over 24 hours.
Played yesterday afternoon and here tonight.
3:48 to go in this one. Can't end fast enough.
The Bruins have 1 shot this period with 3.5 minutes to go.
Well, the Kings have scored
3 times.
3 goals on 5 shots. Brown brings it back toward the LA line, but then lost it. Lewis in front of the Kings bench, jousting with Kepke. Usmadinov will back it up. Wotherspoon gets it from Callahan, chips it over the head of the linesman and in deep. Vogel will play it right back out. The Ferrier through neutral ice, brings it across the line, pass off to the right side and ripped wide of the net by Spence. Gavrikov toward the near corner, around behind the net. 7 goals on 21 shots for Los Angeles. Bruins have had 13 shots on goal total in the game. Ferrier goes across the ice. Lindholm had a pass, hit him in the skate, picked up into the air. Byfield will send that deep. Fiala on the far wall. Back to Clark at a point and a drive. Glove stop by Swayman, draws a whistle.
Look, the Bruins have 10 games to go after the game. Like, what do they want to see in these last 10 games? What, you know, reality says you're not, mathematically you can make the playoffs. Reality says you can't. Not when you play like this, right?
Well, this is 14 losses in 17 games.
Yeah, and 6 in a row. Yeah. So they've given you no indication that they're going to make a charge. So what are you looking for? And that's, I think over the next few days, and we've got 2 days in between games to kind of talk about and think about it, but with 10 games to go, what do you want to see? They tried new lines today. They have 13 shots.
Right.
You know, and if one of the better teams is ready to compete and play well, like the Kings were today, and well, maybe not at the very beginning.
Like Vegas was the other night.
Like Vegas was. You're out.
There's a chance by Fiala, kicked it into the crease, and it's covered up by Swayman.
You're out, man. And depth-wise, you're out, man. So what do you want to see? You know, what players give you the indication that they should be here next year?
I mean, everything is about next year at this point.
They only have 12 healthy forwards.
Right.
They don't have any extras right now. Unless they dress 7 defensemen, these are the guys that are playing on Wednesday.
Unless you want to use more of your call-ups that you've got for the remainder of the season and take a look at some other guys that are in Providence right now.
Yeah. But they're also on a playoff push.
Right. Turcotte takes one away, but then
you want
it back.
I shouldn't say also. They're on a playoff push. And you want them to, you know, be at an advantage, but at the same time, you probably want to see a couple guys in the last 10 games, whatever those call-ups may be. I just think the compete level And it's there for parts of games. It's just not there for the whole game. And you can say, and there'll be people who say, oh, Swayman. And, hey, he's right up there, right? Today especially.
Right.
But not entirely. As the game has gotten out of hand, there's a couple that you expect him to make saves on, but it's just...
Down to 50 seconds in this one. Play in the LA zone. It'll be cleared off the glass past Zadorov. Jokiharju will skate back and retrieve. The Bruins are going to fall to 3 games under 500 for the season, with, as you said, 10 games to go. Brown will chip it deep. Kemper steers it out from behind the net. He's going to go to 15-1-2 on home ice this season. Off the near wall, Brown from the red line will steer it in toward Kemper, who stops it at the side of the net. And 10 seconds to go, and what's remaining of the crowd here at Crypto.com starts to come to their feet, but LA obliges with one more icing.
And they got that one right.
So 6 seconds left before this one mercifully comes to an end.
That's when I like to see Swayman just kind of come out of the net and try to play it.
Face off in the offensive zone. Husnadinov is going to take this one. Posed by Danault. Danault just pulls it back into the corner, and Spence will eat it there, and that will do it. LA Kings for the second day in a row score 7, and the Bruins take it on the chin here in the third period. 7-2 the final score. Back with a recap here on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
You turned your dating app for pets into a business, which just turned over its first billion. You turned around the fortunes of a failing football club, politely turned down a Nobel Peace Prize, and turned up on Mars in your own reusable rocket. All while struggling to turn on the dishwasher. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover business development titles on Audible.
Ben hadn't had a decent night's sleep in a month. So, during one of his restless nights, he booked a package trip abroad on Expedia. When he arrived at his beachside hotel, he discovered a miraculous bed slung between 2 trees and fell into the best sleep of his life. You were made to be rechargeable. We were made to package flights and hotels and hammocks for less. Expedia, made to travel.
This is the story of the one. As a quality technician in a food processing center, she knows that making the right call is the best way to avoid a recall. That's why she trusts Grainger's world-class supply chain to deliver the high-quality supplies she needs to help keep her production line, her equipment, and her customers happy and healthy. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
American Giant makes great clothing, sweatshirts, jeans, and more right here in the U.S. Visit American-Giant.com and get 20% off your first order with code STAPLE20. That's 20% off your first order at American-Giant.com, code STAPLE20.
WIC is a supplemental nutrition program that plays a crucial role in improving the health and well-being of children by providing families access to healthy foods, nutritional education, and other essential support services. WIC programs help improve the long-term health outcomes of mothers and children by ensuring all eligible families, regardless of immigration status, have access to cost-free nutrition resources they need to thrive. If you or someone you know could benefit from WIC, visit health.ri.gov/WIC or reach out to your local WIC office to learn more about eligibility and how to apply.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now, and the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
These days, work is in trouble. We've outsourced most of our manufacturing to other countries, and with that, we sent away good jobs and our capability to make things. American Giant is a clothing company that's pushing back against this tide. They make all kinds of high-quality clothing and activewear, like sweatshirts, jeans, dresses, jackets, and so much more, right here in the USA. So when you buy American Giant, you create jobs in towns and cities across the country, and jobs bring pride, purpose. They stitch people together. If all that sounds good to you, visit American-Giant.com and get 20% off your first order when you use code STAPLE20 at checkout. That's 20% off your first order at American-Giant.com with promo code STAPLE20.
Listen live. Check out our podcast with the 98.5 The Sports Hub app.
Off the face-off, here's Anderson with a drive. Save made by Swayman, rebound, score! And it'll cost the Bruins a goal as Gowdy hammers home the rebound. A controversial icing call cost the Bruins a defensive zone face-off. Doughty scores right off of that, and that made it 3-2 L.A. Turned out to be the game winner as they tacked on a whole bunch more. 7-2 the final score here tonight in L.A. The Kings win it as the Bruins get overwhelmed in the second half of this game.
Yeah, and it's not going to get any, I mean, you know, you play next game against Anaheim. Until you're ready to say enough's enough. I mean, 6 losses in a row. It's been ugly for the Bruins. It really has. I mean, you hang in there for a little while, you make a couple mistakes, and then it snowballs, and the next thing you know, you're getting blown out. I mean, the other day against San Jose was a different story, but San Jose's in a different weight class than the LA Kings. The LA Kings are a good, solid team, and you know you got to be ready to play in certain areas, and they're going to make it tough for you. I mean, the Bruins had one shot in the third period. They had one shot in the third period. It's hard to, you don't want to go too far with it. You know, you don't want to be saying that you've had some guys who have checked out. Like, I don't want to go that far. I don't believe that's the case. But you have one shot in the third period, and it's a 2-goal game. It's 4-2 going into the third. It's just not good enough, and I realize that you're undermanned. I understand that. I get that. You know, you're up against a superior opponent. You know, a team that thinks that they have aspirations on the Stanley Cup. You know, and the Bruins are going in the other direction. I get that, but you know that's a tough third period to take right there. You know, you give up those 3 goals, and look, Swayman could be better too, definitely on a couple of those, but you only had one shot in the third period.
Right. But, you know, you say you're undermanned, and we all understand that. But
undermanned in terms of quality of play.
Right, but season long, I mean, they've taken it on the chin from the Stanley Cup contenders in this league quite a bit this season. And, you know, and tonight's another example.
Even before the trade deadline,
right.
Exactly. And, you know, before some of the injuries that they had. So, you know, that's I don't want to go that far. I don't believe that's the case. I would hate to say that about a team or players. But you can't let it snowball to that extent in the third. If you have 10, 12 shots and they are opportunistic and score, and maybe your goaltenders you want them to make a couple saves, okay. You had one shot in the third period.
Right. When you're trying to come from behind.
And it's a 2-goal game going into the third. So that's to me, that's hard to take. And you know, it's not going to change anytime soon unless you change it. And it's up to the guys in that room to do it. They don't have extra players. They have one extra guy here. It's not like the help is coming from the trade deadline or help is coming from Providence. This is your team right now. And, you know, I've been saying the word reality. Reality has set in for them, but now how do you handle it these last 10 games? And that's why we started talking about that with about 5 minutes to go in the game. What do you want to see from this team in the last 10 games? What do you want to see from individuals in the last 10 games? It's going to show you who should be here next year and who shouldn't be here next year. And when teams are struggling as bad as the Bruins, as badly as the Bruins are right now, true colors, right, with players and teams come out, and it reveals a lot about a player. And I think that more than anything is what they're looking for right now, to see who handles this thing the right way and who has that body language that says, I'm done. And I think that's going to be one of the tells here moving forward for this organization to see who belongs here next year.
Some of the ugly numbers. This is the 12th time the Bruins have allowed 6 or more goals in a game. It is their 19th loss by 3 or more goals this season as they fall 7-2 tonight to the LA Kings. Time now for tonight's Lexus Amazing Play of the Game. Elias Lindholm feathers one into the LA zone. It gets directed back toward Koepke. Right in front, Lindholm, and he scores! And the Bruins strike first just 19 seconds in. Elias Lindholm. Well, it started great. Elias Lindholm's 13th of the year, 19 seconds into the game. That is our Lexus Amazing Play of the Game, brought to you by the Lexus TX. Whether you're the passenger princess, a new set of twins, or even the family dog, everyone travels in luxurious comfort in the Lexus TX. We'll wrap things up from Los Angeles coming up next on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network, driven by the versatile Honda CR-V at your local Honda dealer.
You turned your dating app for pets into a business, which just turned over its first billion. You turned around the fortunes of a failing football club, politely turned down a Nobel Peace Prize, and turned up on Mars in your own reusable rocket. All while struggling to turn on the dishwasher. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover business development titles on Audible.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Everybody's talking about inflation. At Ocean State Job Lot, we've been fighting inflation for 48 years. Spring-hinged reading glasses at your favorite drugstore are $20. Buy them at Job Lot for $3. $20 sunglasses, $5. Designer sunglasses, $7. Looking for American-made disposable aluminum bakeware? Save 70%. If you're a gardener, you can purchase burpee flour and vegetable seed anywhere. At Ocean State Job Lot, we sell it at 40% off. We haven't even mentioned crazy deals where you can buy things for free.
The home of the Revs, the Sports Hub.
Fans throughout the season, the Shaw's and Star Market Foundation's Nourishing Neighbors initiative sponsors our Feeding the Puck for Families campaign. For every helper on a Bruins goal, they donate another $100 to fight food insecurity. With 2 feeds tonight, that's another $200 for the Greater Boston Food Bank. Follow along at 985thesportshub.com/feedthepuck. Back here in L.A., where the Kings put it to the Bruins 7-2, the final score. Our 3 stars are presented by Nissan. You deserve a car that thrills you, and Nissan's got an exciting full line that'll put goosebumps on your goosebumps. Experience the thrill for yourself. Shop your local Nissan store and nissanusa.com today. The Kings, no surprise, sweep the 3 stars. Our 3rd star goes to Warren Foegele. Dano sends one across, and down the right side came Lewis all by himself. The puck just out of his reach. Now from behind the net, a chance right in front, and they score. And it's Foegele who gives the Kings a 2-1 lead. Less than 30 seconds to go here in the first. Warren Foegele in his 500th career game gets his 20th goal of the season, tying a career high. It was also his 100th career goal. The number 2 star, pair of assists for Adrian Kempe. And the Kings will get it cleared, thrown all the way up ice. Kempe behind the defense. He'll beat an icing. Sends it off to the right circle, and they score. Kuzmenko able to get it past Swayman, and L.A. makes it a 4-2 game. Kempe, a difference maker in this game today with a pair of assists, but he was all over the puck and spent a lot of time in and around the Bruins net. And the number 1 star with a goal and an assist, Quentin Byfield. And now Laferriere trying to come back the other way. His pass for Fiala was broken up, but here's Byfield shooting and scoring. Quentin Byfield on the inside of the left circle makes it 5-2 LA. Yeah, that goal at 4:05 of the 3rd period really spelled doom for the Bruins, who trailed by 2 going into the 3rd. And as Bearsy mentioned, Boston really never got any sort of a push in the 3rd period, getting only 1 shot on goal, while the Kings had 7. L.A. scored 7 goals on 23 shots, 16 saves today for Jeremy Swayman, who suffers his 4th consecutive loss, drops his record to 20, 25, and 6 on the season. This is the 10th time this year Swayman has surrendered 5 or more goals in a game. It is the second time this year that he has given up 7 or more in a game. And so actually third time, he's given up 7 or more. Once in Winnipeg, once in Dallas, and now once here in Los Angeles this season. Darcy Kemper made 11 saves down to the other end on 13 Bruins shots. He gets the win. His record at home now is 15-1-2 for the season. His overall record stands at 24-9-7 in 41 starts, among the league leaders in both save percentage and goals against average. So the Bruins record now stands at 30-33-9. They have lost 6 in a row, and they have lost 14 of their last 17 games. And they'll try to turn things around when they visit the Anaheim Ducks on Wednesday night. Our next broadcast gets underway at 9:30 Eastern Time with our pregame coverage, and then the face-off scheduled for 10 o'clock Eastern. That's this Wednesday night from Anaheim. That'll do it for us. For our executive producer back in Waltham, Jeremy Conley, our engineer here in the booth, Mike Dooley, and for Bob Beers, I'm Ryan Johnston. Thanks for joining us, and good night from L.A.
Boston Bruins hockey is driven by the stylish Honda Accord, available at your local New England Honda dealers. The Bruins are brought to you by VA New England, Granite City Electric GCE Night Train, Valvoline Instant Oil Change, Coors Banquet, Bosch Tools, your New England Ford dealers, Live Nation, Peerless Boilers, Safety Insurance, and by Shaw's and Star Market.
2 seconds, 1 second, it's over. The Bruins have won the Stanley Cup.
And by Town Fair Tire, TD Bank, your Boston area Nissan dealers, Charles D. Sheehy, Ticketmaster, Dairy Queen, McGovern Auto Group, Hub International New England, Timberline Construction, the Peterson School, your Eastern Region Lexus dealers, and by DraftKings Sportsbook.
After 39 long years, the Cup is back home. The Bruins are 2011 Stanley Cup champions.
Bruins hockey is a presentation of the 98.5 The Sports Hub Bruins Radio Network.
From the Town Fair Tire Studios, this is Boston's home for sports. WBZ-FM at HD Boston, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Media Group Station.
To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details.
Go! Check them out.
FS1.
Check them out.
FS1.
Come on!
The microphone is yours.
Give me the playback!
Jason Smith and Mike Harmon are dropping knowledge like this.
No tournament needs Cooper Flagg to play in it, needs a star player more than this tournament does. Right? I mean, the 2 stories in the NCAA this year has been Cooper Flagg and Rick Pitino and St. John's. That's it, those 2 stories. And clearly Cooper Flagg is way above. It's not even Duke. It's Cooper Flagg. And hey, here's a guy that's come in, the overwhelming #1 overall pick in the draft. They need this. You need a star. That's the thing about March. As games go on, you need your stars.
On the plus side, you added Amir Khan. So, I mean, that's good. The McNeese State manager.
The boxer? Yeah. No. Well, they just had a ruling on his fight today.
It all ties together.
But here's the other part that's big news for college basketball. If I'm betting right now, because here he is coming back after a scary ankle injury, Cooper Flagg loves playing for Duke. When you see him play, this is not a guy who I'm here putting in my year and I'm heading to the NBA. If I'm a betting guy right now, I would bet he comes back to school for another year. Because you have your whole career to play, right? And first overall pick here, you'd be the first overall pick next year, right? We watched Peyton Manning do it 20-some-odd years ago, stay in school, didn't want to go to the Jets. So I'm staying in school. He came out, and he had a great career. Is that Cooper Flagg has to look at the teams that are in the mix for the #1 overall pick, not like what you see. Now, granted, he's going to have time. He's got to make a declaration. Then we get the lottery. Then you can pull out, right? So he has enough time to say, hey, I like what I see at the top here. I don't like what I like to see. I'm sure there's going to be...
To get the rest of what Jason Smith and Mike Harmon said, podcast it by searching The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon. And as always, you can hear The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon weeknights at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Radio.
right now.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Dan Patrick.
Since 2017, Kansas has entered 3 seasons as the number 1 team in the country. None of those teams finished as a top seed in the tournament, and none made it past the round of 32. You kind of take it for granted with some of these teams, and with Kansas, it feels like you plug them in and you realize that they're going to get to the Sweet 16 or the Elite 8. That's just not the case anymore. And NIL has leveled the playing field. It's not just you're getting somebody else is getting somebody. Also, the transfer portal as well. But I would say Kansas is still the hunted, but I don't know how much longer that is going to last. And you do see these coaches, they're lifers, and at some point, the transfer portal and NIL drives them out.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Dan and the Danettes and you.
Weekdays, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. On Fox Sports Radio. Ben Maller.
We're going to make the gabagool.
Ben Maller.
The guy's a beast.
The big dog with a big bite.
That was a bag of crap performance.
Ben Maller. He's going to do Ben Maller things.
Sounds incredible.
It sounds better in theory than in reality.
Snap, crackle, pop.
It's the Ben Maller Show. Who the hell is he? Listen on the overnights.
It's not that complicated.
2 a.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Pacific. Right here on Fox Sports Radio.
And good night.
FS1.
Call your friends and ask how they doing.
To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com. From the Town Fair Tiger Studios, this is Boston's home for sports.
He scored! What a blast by Boston! Holiday free. Good night.
WBZFM and HD Boston 98.5, the Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group station. We are Sports. And here's what you need to know.
About 1:20 to go in the late game of the NCAA tournament's second round. It ends tonight. Arizona an 80-76 leader against Oregon. Again, late in the game, already in that region. 1 seed Duke advanced easily over Baylor, and 2 seed Alabama eliminated St. Mary's. Maryland won at the buzzer, 72-71 over Colorado State. Next up, the Terps against 1 seed Florida in the Sweet 16 Thursday night. Florida beat UConn 77-75. Wins for Kentucky and Ole Miss. 2 seed Michigan State came back to beat New Mexico 71-63. Women's number 1 UCLA leads late 82-67 against Richmond in a game that was tied at the half. The NBA's late game went to Oklahoma City, which has won 6 straight after edging the Clippers in LA 103-101. Kyle Larson was the NASCAR winner at Homestead, Miami. I'm Steve DeSager.
This is Let's Go Fox Sports Sunday.
No, they ain't ready, fam.
The top stories, the sounds of the game, the interviews, the breaking news. When it goes down, we'll cover it here. Your Fox Sports Sunday is right now. Let's go. Live from the TireRack.com studios of Fox Sports Radio, here's Arnie Spanier and Chris Plank.
We are coming to you live tonight from the TireRack.com studios. TireRack.com will help you get there. An unmatched selection. Fast free shipping, free road hazard protection, and over 10,000 recommended installers. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
I can't
How you
take
doing?
it. I can't
How you
take
hanging
it.
in there?
We
Good?
We blew the game. We had a 7-point lead in a fast break where we had the alley-oop dunk, and 2 guys crash into each other. We don't make the bucket. They come back. They hit the 3, and now it's a 2-point game with like 49 seconds left.
Hey, listen, as somebody who's done did a show on Friday night, I've heard the promo from Colin Cowherd 1,000 times, Arnie. This is why he picked Arizona. Moments like this, guys like Caleb Love, who have been in college for 100 years.
Why are they not putting a Waka back in the game? I know he has 4 fouls, but you've kept him out for such a long time.
He's back in.
Is he in now?
Yeah, he's back in now.
Well,
I mean,
finally,
he has to be,
49
right?
seconds left.
Well, this is, for somebody who spent most of this show complaining about March Madness and the NCAA tournament, you've got yourself the moment you've wanted, right?
Of course, it comes down to my game. I knew this was going to happen, but we had this game put away. This is what kills me about being an Arizona fan. I'm really going to have a sports nervous breakdown, and I hate that you're going to see ahead of me because I don't want to.
No. I turned it off. I'm going to wait because I know how you are about that, and this is your team, and if they melt down, I don't want to be the one to tell you about it, but I will say this much. Oregon's going to have the basketball back with 45 seconds left.
I just saw that.
I was trying to wait. All right, I'm watching my feed. I got 45.5 seconds left, 80-78 Oregon basketball. Is that what you've got?
Did it really go off us? I can't believe. I guess it did.
Well, you know what's going to happen is we're going to have 8,000 replays of this. So this game might get over by the time our show is over. Can I pose that complaint? Just reviewing everything and all the timeouts. Oh yeah, that's off you guys.
Yeah, it's off us.
all the replays and the complaints. I mean, my gosh, man, it just we've taken the end of college basketball games and we've dragged them out and made them never ending, dude.
Yeah, but you want to get the
watch.
calls right. That's the bottom line. Yeah,
I know, but isn't there a point where something as obvious as that? It's like, yeah, we see it. Okay, let's go. Instead of sitting there for like 10 minutes and everyone getting to see the back of your head or your bald spot or what. It's like, let's go. Come on. We know he tapped it out of bounds. There's 45 seconds left. Let's get this thing rolling here.
I bet you we had like a 90% chance of winning when we were on that fast break. I just can't believe we're gonna
look here.
We're gonna choke this thing away. Really, it's just eating me up alive. And I gotta be working while this thing is going.
What was the score at that point?
I don't know.
80-73, 2 minutes to go. 80-73, 2 minutes to go. Caleb Love hit